as well. It's Monday, February 8th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see nicely positive here. Japan leading the way 2+% to the upside. Nifty as well, 1.2% to the upside. Korea lower. We'll talk about Hyundai and Kia shares tumbling overnight on a clarification with the Apple deal coming up. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up. 1% for England leading the way. Italy as well, 1.7%. Nicely positive otherwise. Top to bottom here, let's have a look at North American markets. More positivity. S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, moving higher this morning. The TSX 0.6% here in Toronto as far as futures are concerned. Yep, there's Bitcoin 16.7% right now to the upside. We'll talk about why you're coming up, both crude oil and gold. Also in positive territory. Good morning, guys. It is Monday. More excitement to start things off this morning involving Tesla, involving cryptocurrencies. Confirm, Sean, record highs right now for Bitcoin?
Yeah. I mean, it's 44.05 to do right
Almost.
now.
Right.
As we go here, let's just. My mic is not on, so take it away.
Yeah, it's you actually just a little bit off the highs right now. Got past that 4,400 mark. Of course, everyone talking about the Elon Musk tweet. 1.5 billion investment by Tesla into Bitcoin, accepting Bitcoin now. Obviously, you're going to see across the board all the major crypto currencies are going to be moving up. And I guess we probably should have seen this coming if you've been following his account for a little while. Talking positively, let's just say, about the entire crypto space. There's more. There's going to be a lot to talk about, of course, not just this week. We do have some solid earnings coming through end of the week. I mean, I'm waiting for Disney to come out on Thursday. It was a very, very disappointing Super Bowl for me, Sean, because I didn't want to see Tom Brady win, and the game was absolutely terrible. But I am very, very excited. I saw a trailer for that new Marvel movie. Looks like it's going to be a fun one, and Disney probably stands to benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're loving Disney. Got the mic all fixed up. Yeah, here's the Bitcoin chart, and then here's Mr. Elon getting richer and richer and richer as 39,000 just rockets here. Yeah, 40, so almost touched 45. 44,844 to answer your question, Brandon, I believe is the new all-time high rate here on Bitcoin. 44,844. So we'll look to see if that gets breached. And then, of course, you can trade a whole bunch of different names, right? GBTC, we don't have it yet in the pre-market, but it is active and moving in the pre-market. And then you have stocks like, here, I'll take this down so we can see the screen itself. But we have Riot blockchain as well, not on the pink sheets, of course, over here in NASDAQ. So there's lots of different stocks moving around as my chart is frozen. Welcome to Monday, guys.
All right, guys, we'll kick things off here. We'll have a look at how traders at Day Trade the World fared back on Friday. Big numbers coming out of, OTC pink sheets. The OTC markets producing the top two traders here. 138,000, 100,000 at number 2. You got to go to 93 only, all the way down to number 3 with Chicago CME, the NASDAQ, and OTC pink sheets there as well. There was a number of individual symbols moving on Friday on the pink sheets. We'll discuss that here in a second. 72,600 from the NASDAQ alone. You can see the BOVESPA, Johannesburg there, and also OTC pink sheets. Number 6. So more great opportunities, more big numbers coming out of lots of different markets here at Day Trade the World. Back on Friday. Before we go any further, let's bring in Valeria. She is working remotely once again this week. She will be back with us here in studio starting on Monday. But Valeria at home again this week. Good morning, V.
Good morning, Brandon, and hi, traders. Happy Monday, everyone. Please hit your thumbs up and let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We don't really talk about OTC markets a lot because a lot of retail traders are restricted when it comes to trading symbols on the OTC markets. But we did have a couple of individual names moving around like crazy, doing all kinds of volume back on Friday. We saw big numbers, 1 and 2 there on the top 10 traders list. I mean, from a general perspective here, guys, what do people need to know about trading OTC if they want to look into that further?
Well, we hit it. I know what the stock was from Friday. It was only it was just this one stock here. It was Luckin Coffee, and it was just, we talked about that early on Friday, right? We talked about it going, and it was one of our top stories. Remember, it was Chapter 15. We had Jeff Mendel come through and talk to us about what the difference between Chapter 15 was and Chapter 11 as well. And then I hit this, and we got a great trade here. And look, I mean, it's Luckin Coffee. So here it was, $12, $13. It opened up $7, and I don't even know if it opened 7. What did it open up right here? Yeah, 7. And then look at this drop. Like, all I really did was punch short here, $7, and it didn't stop going. This is a 1-minute chart. So 7 didn't stop going until about 5:20, stopped, made it all the way back. And then once it took out this 7 again, where it opened, then it just rocketed up to 8 and change. And then you saw what happened. I mean, then it just dropping back and forth and around, and a little bit of movement in the afternoon. So what do they need to know about trading pink sheets? Really? I mean, it's just the moves are there. They can be very, very violent. You have to watch out for sizing up and the right amount of shares and things like that. But you know what? For a retail trader, Brendan, it's actually not that much different than trading. I think for us, it's different because the level 2 looks much different, and a lot of the size that you see there, it's not what you see is what you get. There are rules there about different market makers have up to 30 seconds to fill your order, and there's stuff like AutoX. And you know what? It actually brings up a good point. Why don't we are going to hopefully get Jeff from the OTC markets on very, very soon. There's also pre-market trading that we don't have access to on our platform yet. So I think it's very, very similar, but I just, you know what? Those numbers just come honestly, like I got a message, like it was obvious that this was the move to the downside there on Luckin Coffee, and we all got that same message there on Friday and brought it to you guys live there from OTC Markets that something was happening. So I believe it was just market on open orders or something like that that sent the stock reeling and back up. So Luckin Coffee, we'll see about the volume today, but I mean today, Neil, we already know what's going to be popping off today.
Yeah.
It should be GBTC. You can already see, again, we don't have any pre-market prints, but I'm looking at another platform, and it's already at $45. So here you go, GBTC closing at 37, already trading at 45. Here, I can show you right now off another platform. Big time moves. We're getting close to the all-time highs of GBTC, $48. Remember, it follows crypto, but it can be very, very tricky to trade as well. So I would say, if you want to get into crypto and you're not able to trade on the pink sheets, you can trade Mara and Riot and things like that.
Yeah, and I think if liquidity is your concern, that's probably why a lot of traders are going to be going over to Mara and Riot. I mean, like Sean said, the only difference for us is we can be accustomed to getting that ample access to quick liquidity. So trading style does change when it comes to the pink sheets or the OTC markets for the most part. But overall, it's going to be unavoidable today. And with the moves like this, you have to be looking at something. I mean, as a day trader, anyways, you have to be looking at something which is going to be related to this move, whether it's directly here at GBTC for us, or taking a quick look at Mara, which we've done in the past. And I saw that's up about 24% and making runs at its previous highs.
Yeah, and all of those on the watch list this morning, guys. So we'll talk about them in depth coming up here before we get to the open this morning. Let's bring in Mark Roberts here and have a discussion on what he's looking at as far as things to be concerned with this morning. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Good morning, Mark. It is Monday, an exciting start here. So the initial news with Tesla seemingly negative. Chinese regulators saying, fix some problems that you have with your cars, please. And then obviously they come out the same morning and talk about massive investment into Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's he has to do something with his cash. It's not a surprise. And he is the master of conversation. So more of this to come.
What do we think about these regulators coming to Tesla, though, in China saying, there's been fires, there's been, malfunctions when it comes to accelerations, things of that nature. What's the deal? I mean, they did have discussions. They did confirm that there were meetings between the two sides, but no real changes or announcements as far as changes to come made, though.
It's the old story. You do business in a foreign country. You're under their regulation and their rules. And if they decide to shut you down or impede your progress, it's going to be done. That's part of the business there. What you don't want to do is break any laws. It's one thing to have a fire and have to correct something. It's another thing to be going against the common laws of the locality or the country.
I want to get your opinion on this Apple story this morning. We learned on Friday that Hyundai and Kia were both, sharply higher on news that Apple was in the process of finalizing an agreement to produce their autonomous driving EV with those two manufacturers. This little Canoe Incorporated, which is Go EV, the symbol Go EV, announced exactly a year ago this month that they had in fact signed a manufacturing agreement with Hyundai and Kia. We're seeing Canoe down on this news. So two-part question here. Is this going to affect Apple at all? And what do we think about this Canoe?
Oh, I think the conversations are still wide open. I don't think anything has been put in stone yet. Just tread lightly off of these stories. There's no surprise that Tesla is going to be challenged. They were the disruptor. Apple may prove to be a disruptor, but until something is on a dotted line and until a factory is opened, this is all suspect.
Let's go to vaccine world here. Mark, we had a little bit of a change as far as AstraZeneca. Over the weekend, we learned one or two different countries putting, the release of that vaccine on hold. We come in this morning, AstraZeneca trading higher on that?
Yeah, that's a little strange. I think the basic issue is the vaccine rollout was a disaster from the locality and the state level in the U.S. Each country has to deal with the vaccine as it sees. There's still lockdowns all over Europe. For the U.S., I think by the end of March, we're going to see fantastic numbers as far as herd immunity and vaccines being implemented. The problem isn't going to be, will there be enough supply? The problem's going to be, how do we get those to believe that a vaccine works that don't believe in vaccines?
And a story that's obviously going to continue into the future here. Big week. We mentioned big week as far as earnings coming up this week. One or two that you're looking at that excite you?
No, I'm just looking at what is the catalyst going to be that takes us down 3 to 5% from these high levels. At some point, we have to take a breather. And yes, we've gone through a massive reorient of, we'll call it money flows into names, out of names, into value, into growth. But I still think there's some impetus that's going to pull us down. And I don't think it's going to be earnings because they're far better than I ever expected.
So on that note here, and I was kind of hoping, Mark, that you would say a little something about our good friend Disney, because I was jacked up watching the Super Bowl ads because they have so many things coming out. They got earnings coming on Thursday as well. But I have to ask you, if you're talking about what's the catalyst that you think is going to give us this healthy pullback, why isn't it potentially that, you're getting the news with AstraZeneca here, and you're seeing these new strains and whatnot. Why isn't it some fears along those lines? Is that because it might make it easier to push through all that stimulus, and because Yellen said we get the stimulus, the economy is going to be back to normal? So why wouldn't it be COVID? Are those the reasons?
At this point, Janet Yellen wants to push every possible button to make Mr. Biden's plans work. I think that will override anything. The only thing you could say and be a little concerned about would be 2 weeks from yesterday, whether there was a spread effect because of Super Bowl parties. There were a lot of parties that people were putting on the internet where there were no masks all over Tampa Bay. So I don't know. It is quite remarkable that the stimulus keeps rolling out. Nothing really will get done before the end of March, early April, and yet the market always reacts 6 months out. So it's good news.
Yeah, and obviously we're sort of seeing the aspect of savings rates are certainly going up, more disposable income. People got to put the money somewhere. A bunch of people just made some money on crypto. You might see that go into the market in other places. But sort of coming back to the story, because we've talked about this name. possibly in the past. And I do want to just come back seriously for Disney in a second, because you are, and I'm going to show you the daily chart here, because you are essentially right now pretty much at that 184 top, right? And we thought maybe we'd get there heading into earnings. We talked a little bit about this last week, and I've sort of been thinking this entire time this is going to be breakthrough, probably before we get into earnings, and then everyone expecting it to be solid. It's both a stay-at-home play for the streaming, but then a huge reopen play as well. And so if there is that 3 to 5% sell-off, whatever you're talking about there, would this not be near the top of the list for some kind of a dip buy if you're looking at a more robust type of name? Or would it simply be just, oh, you're looking to the names that you think you already like the most, like maybe some of your tech names there, that you're going to be catching on pullbacks? Or does this stand out for any particular reason?
Personally, I can see Disney going to 210, 220, as I said last week. Any pullback into the 170s is a buy for me. I think brokers like Cowen that have a 147 or Bernstein that has a 116 target have to step up at some point. But there's so many brokers that have a 200 to 220 area that any pullback will be a grandstanding buy.
Gotcha. And sort of last one here. I think some people might be surprised by this. I don't think anybody would be, that you're going to see DraftKings approaching highs. Not exactly a huge move coming off the Super Bowl. It was sort of a buy into it as well. But looks like a double top here on this particular name. Prime for a little bit of a breakout. This is definitely, I would say, a stay-at-home type of play. People have nothing else to do. They're going to certainly gamble a little bit. So give me your thoughts here. I mean, is this ripe for a bit of a pullback, or is this the kind of name that might be a little bit easier to dig into or more likely to give a top break than Disney this week?
I think a stock like this certainly has room to the upside. I probably would look somewhere for the stock to settle in 70 to 75. But I think any pullback into that 59.60 area will be sought as well. These are great companies. They're branding at high levels, and any more good news just brings the buyers in, even if it's below the market. They'll step up at some point. Also, we're now in February, and a lot of managers, at least on the wealth side, still have 30, 35% cash. They have to put it to work.
Yeah, and I promise you some of that is going to be going into this sector. So a few names that we can watch there. I'll send you over to Sean. I'm going to mention before I send you there that, of course, you were more right than I was about the outcome of the big game. So there you go. Congratulations, Mark.
I think I was the only one screaming, go, 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 in the room I was sitting in.
Yeah, a lot of Tom Brady haters. I don't know if you're one as well, Sean, but...
No, I'm not a hater. I mean, I realize, just like Mark Roberts, so when you are the greatest of all time, you win a few things there. So, Mark, we do appreciate you coming on the show. And yeah, you know what? I mean, at least someone was yelling during the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't remember one that was a little less exciting than that Super Bowl. True. But you know what? If you're a Bucs fan, congratulations, and we're not going to hate on them for sure. But good, not a bad game, not a great halftime show either. With the weekend, unfortunately, representing Toronto. So thanks for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll skip past that. But
supposed to do that to him.
Yeah, that's okay. But whatever. I mean, the guy's like $100 million. Whatever. Okay. Palantir, Mark. I've been talking about that. So have you for a very, very long time. Obviously, it's a relatively new company to the market, but it's a very old company as far as Silicon Valley is concerned. And today, now that they're a public company, they can start announcing some of the deals that they have. They crush one now with IBM. IBM still a huge cloud name, I believe. I mean, they're not as big as obviously they once were, but they're switching some of their businesses over into the cloud and getting a little more aggressive with that space. We saw Palantir come out on Friday with a deal with BP as well. And look, data gathering and analysis of the data, things like that just continues to be, I think, probably the theme of 2021. If it's not going to be crypto, I think it's going to be data and mining and collecting and analyzing and things like that. Am I far off with something like that? And if people have missed Palantir, A, is it too late to get on it now? And B, are there any other companies similar to a Palantir right now that you might like a little bit more? Because we're already up 10% here and we're blowing up with Palantir.
Palantir looks terrific. I think the fear more than anything else has been not really understanding what they do and who they are. I think because of that, that's been an issue. But if you go down the list, you've got CRM, Salesforce, SAP in Europe, Intuit, WDAY, Team, VEEV, PAYC, and Coop would be the top 8 names that would be competitors, if you will, of Palantir. But Palantir chart looks fabulous. Also, I think there's a lot of quiet shorts in this over the last 2 weeks.
Exactly what we like to hear, especially what's been happening with Robinhood. Look, I do like CRM, and I was a buyer there on the workforce deal, the Slack deal, sorry, down, brought them down. Obviously, they paid a little bit. I don't know if they paid too much for it or not, but that brought them rifling back down into the 220s, and what a great opportunity that was to buy. Was actually able to pick some up in 225, 226 area. Now starting to break out, and I agree with you. I don't think it's too late on that one. One more name. Thank you for Salesforce. That means a lot. I think that's another name that traders need to get into if they're not. And then I'm going to go back. Neil talked about Apple a little bit, and I'm just going to give you a name that I know you're familiar with as well. NIO here, N-I-O, over on the NYSE right now. A daily chart gets us into the areas, Mark, that you and I always talk about. It's these clusters right now. It's having a hell of a time. It hasn't been a great day trading stock, and I know that's not super important for longer term investing, but it's dropped down to 54 and then back up to 57, maybe 58. We've touched 60. It doesn't want to break it. Are we worried that Tesla is maybe a little bit too much of the talk here in China and NIO's kind of getting thrown a little bit to the wayside right now? I know they have a lot of good delivery numbers. I thought they were leading the way in China. I believe they still are. And I'm thinking that this, like you just said there about maybe some quiet shorts in Palantir, I wonder if people are afraid to wake up this sleeping dragon right now, because we've seen what NIO can do when it gets going, and there's no doubt about it. It can run, and right now, do you like this setup for a short, for a long? What are we supposed to do here? It's not supposed to be in a $2 range.
No. The problem is your buy area is closer to 54.5, and your sell area is probably closer to 58.5.
Yeah.
Your mid-range, this is where you get into trouble. This is where I sit on the sidelines and let somebody else make an error.
Okay, so there you go. So that's the question right there, guys. It's almost like it's planned here, Mark, because we always get talked about, maybe we're not trading NIO enough. And I say the exact same thing. It needs to break one way or the other before we get super interested. So I'm glad that we have a very, very similar thought. Give us one name today that maybe we haven't touched upon that our traders might want to look at. Is there something out there that's really catching your eye?
Well, I'm starting to look at the IT service area. It's an early look, a very similar pattern to what you're looking at. In NIO, in the IT services would be Accenture, ACN.
Right.
And
what about ServiceNow?
I'm sorry?
ServiceNow?
IT services.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm looking at Accenture as ACN.
Yep, got it
as
up.
a possible buy on any weakness.
Yeah, okay, I see Accenture down here. Not a super exciting name, but like you said, starting to do exactly what you mentioned there, breaking out. So Accenture, thank you, Mark. Take it away. Brandon, thanks, Mark Roberts.
Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Appreciate your time. As always, we will touch base again on Wednesday.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. Let's jump into what is moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you take out the watch list. We send it out every single morning before we come on at 8:30, talking about all of the names that are moving around in the pre-market. Valeria will help you out in the chat if you need that link. We are working on, for anyone who is still having some delays as far as getting the watch list, we are working on a much better solution to come, so stay tuned for that. We talked about Palantir there a little bit, Sean, but why don't we jump into the chart and have a look at what to do with this thing today. Yeah, big deal announced today, partnering with IBM.
Yeah, IBM and Watson in the building right now. So yeah, look, I mean, we've talked about Palantir. What a great opportunity it was back down here in the mid-20s. Those of you that have been watching the show for a couple months know that most of us are long at least 11, 12. And then if not, I've been pumping this stock for a very long time. And I don't even think, I mean, pumping is the wrong word. We've just been talking about kind of the deals. And you know, Palantir is not a new company. They just IPO'd recently. Peter Thiel brought it to market. They've had big deals for a long time, and it's been one of those like quiet secrets, I think. Anyways, not a secret, but one of those quiet stocks there in Silicon. And it's just they finally IPO'd. It was rumored for years and years and years. Came out. Now you're starting to see some of the details. And look, whether or not this run is justified or not, I mean, we were just at January 22nd. You could have got this thing for 25, 26 bucks. Now you're at the 37, 38. And I would think breaking out as soon as we go. So you want to talk about the charts? I mean, 38.50, 37.50, sorry, could be a good little spot here. We dipped down and resisted that. You have VWAP at 37.25. Some late moves this morning back down to 36. You close 33. I think we're way up. I'm just going to be going long on Palantir. I think you can also look at IBM today. Let's check out. Oh, it's the number 1, by the way, here on the imbalance locator. So what that means, and we'll talk about this, and Neil will as well, and we always do that. I think that, you know, the imbalance locator sets this thing to go upside a little bit, which people get excited for. And then as 9 o'clock comes down, we do have some dip buy opportunities. So for me, 36, like it's going to seem like that's a ways away. But Palantir is nuts, man. You guys have seen me trade this. Like 1 minute could be 36, the next minute could be 32, and then it can be right back up to 38. So we're going to watch out and see if we can't hold this 36 area on Palantir. But hey, I told you guys, that Palantir should be in everyone's portfolio, and I sure hope it is, just like DraftKings.
And you got to look at these. Look, historically, you have to look at some of those dips that happen at the open. And you know, there was a muted one if you go back into Friday, but we've seen big ones off the open before. Go back to the first of the month. So it's not pie in the sky saying you can get something like a 36, especially when you have this little 38.25 top, a little wick through 38 here, the little top at heavy action. And 38 on the way back in from those highs at 44, 45. So there is a bit of a level that it needs to chew through here that we have to watch out for. And I definitely prefer the dip into it's more like defending the 35.20 to 35.30 area. So a good start would be that 36. And then it sets up for like a 38 break. But the breakouts, I don't love the breakouts on the open trade. Breakouts on Palantir later on in the session are absolutely fantastic. Off the open, they sometimes can be a bit of a fool's gold. Brennan?
Okay, let's talk upgrades and downgrades. Few of them here, guys, to make note of at least. Workday, Target, and ExxonMobil on this side of the board standing out this morning. ExxonMobil specifically, we had strength come back into energy names last week with the energy market moving higher. So already you can see up about 2% for XOM. A lot of travel-related stocks on the downgrade side. LVS, Win as well, moving lower this morning, I saw. And this it's still in positive territory, but should be heading southbound in a hurry, guys. But LVS, Denny's, and El Polo Loco to the downside, guys.
Oh no! Please don't tell me it's not Los Polos Hermanos.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, Los Polos Hermanos. If you guys know where that's from, hit it up on the chat. But I don't know if we'll be looking at any chicken companies today. Maybe Yum Brands with KFC. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that too publicly here in case they come after me with that. But I'm sure you guys all know where that's from. I'm still stuck on Palantir, but I know there was XOM was on that chart. I think there's a possibility for this stock to keep on running. We've seen oil prices. I know gas prices here very expensive as well, up to $51. So I'd watch out for a 51 break, decent size there.
Yeah, double top action on XOM, and it's worth looking at 51. It's about 100,000 shares I'm seeing on the offer on XOM. So you're gonna have to watch out for this one off of the open, but it sort of seems like an obvious breakout style play with the nice little rebound you're seeing in oil prices. Of course, I mean things could go the other way here in the long term. If you have some of these concerns with demand and lockdowns, yada, yada, yada. But either way, you have to watch a 51 level. It hasn't done a ton of pre-market volume in XOM, so it's only 200,000 shares. So ideally, you get a pullback here, and then you catch that little break a little bit later on. Breakouts on low volume in the pre-market tend not to be the best, and I wouldn't do that in a name like an XOM here. You certainly want to wait for that open.
All right, let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the overall market, check out the futures, see what levels we need to be aware of. Going to be an interesting day, I feel. We are still in this kind of, 3850 to 3900 area, Arun. What do we look at today?
3,900, you said it, 3,900. Anytime you get near a round number, when we spend this much time around it, you know the stops are building on the other side of it. So I'm going to keep an eye on what happens when we get above 3,900. I do like the break, but at the same time, I'm worried about the amount of stops that are above there. So what I want to see is I want to see us break it, and then I want to actually see us settle in and not just be a stop run above and then come right back under. So if we can settle above 3,900 after we break, then I think the extension play is available. But until that happens, I won't be jumping on board with this 3,900 break. Now on the downside, I've got 3,875. So if we can break either one of those and settle in 3,875 on the downside or 3,900 on the upside, you have a breakout, and then you just use the opposite side as the stop. So if 3,875 goes, use 3,900. If 3,900 goes, then use 3,875. And if we get below 3,875, I do want to keep an eye on this 3,860 as well. It's only 15 points further down. It's not as strong as a level, but I do want to keep an eye on it just in case that we develop something into the 70s, below the 70s, in between 70 and 60. So keep an eye on that as well. But for now, 3,900, 3,875, either one that goes and settles in, that's the direction that I'll be going with.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check in again tomorrow morning as we head towards the open. Let's talk about Tesla here, guys. We mentioned with Mark the initial news story out this morning, Chinese regulators meeting with Tesla over in China to discuss some issues and problems that consumers were complaining about with battery fires. Some unexpected accelerations was the language they used. So we quickly went from very negative not very negative, but a big down move to yeah, we're sharply higher here, guys, after a $1.5 billion investment into Bitcoin was announced.
Yeah, you can say very negative. In these markets, like Tesla down like $20 is kind of very negative.
Very negative. Yeah, I think it was like, what, 0.3%?
Yeah. No, but Tesla doesn't go down. That's the problem, right? Certainly, the thing about Tesla, and we've been sort of waiting for some catalyst to push this thing to the upside, to sort of look at that. And quick second here, just a little scalp trade I'm going to put on here. I'll get to Oxygen in a second, but big level broke to the downside, made some money short, just reversed into a bit of a scalp long, wanted to get in and out of that as fast as I could. But Tesla here has been making this test, and it's been a couple of sessions. It's been above that 885 mark and then testing that 900. We're still waiting for the 900 break. But the first things first, and we've said it over and over again, every time it comes to that 860 area, does not spend a heck of a lot of time above it. I'm really hoping this is finally the catalyst that gets us to that 900 trade. I think it's going to be a good one when it gets there, although you might have that one shot, and one hasn't been there in a while, have that quick little like 99 short, scalp it, and then maybe there's eventually going to be that break. Today, it still has to get through that 88 to 85 mark before you have any kind of wins like that. But I certainly expect this will be defending 850 all day long here on any kind of a pullback. So hopefully this is the catalyst. We've said this time and time again on the show that Tesla has sort of turned into maybe not even the greatest day trading stock. If you're trading it every single day, that can be a bit of a problem. But some days when it has the actionable news, you already have a good range in the pre-market. I really hope that this is the day that it has some follow through.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I agreed. And look, no one's really, I mean, people are talking about it, but that was, by the way, okay, so those Palantir's still going. We'll find out what SOS is going on with that, BlackBerry here as well, Pfizer, GM, so on and so forth. But like, so Tesla just bought, I don't know if people are understanding this correctly or not, but $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So, I mean, now you can put that into Tesla's portfolio as well. And I know they're going to be taking Bitcoin as payment. So guess what? As Bitcoin continues to rocket to the moon and Tesla continues to take Bitcoin as payment, I mean, no longer are they sitting in a depleting asset, i.e. cash. They can now take payment for Tesla in Bitcoin. So you're going to pay 100 grand for the Tesla in Bitcoin, and then that 100 grand is going to turn into like 120 grand for Tesla, right? Obviously, it can go the other way if Bitcoin comes down, but this is just another little feather in Elon's cap, I guess. Now getting Tesla probably, I don't know, are they the largest single besides Grayscale? I mean, we'll find out. But like what other company, I guess MSTR is going to own a lot of Bitcoin as well. But Tesla with that one purchase, 1.5 billion, rockets it to the high side. We've talked about NIO fading off, XPeng as well, Ford getting into the EV space, but no one's touching Tesla, man. You're up to $900. Short this if you want, but it won't be this guy.
All right, let's continue along here, guys. Lots to get through this morning. We'll go down to Hasbro. There was Some earnings. Lowe's was another one that reported in the pre-market this morning, but Hasbro benefiting from more people staying at home, more parents buying board games and things that keep their kids occupied, I guess, while at home. So a decent report here from Hasbro, but not terribly active so far.
No, and it's not. And the thing about Hasbro is it's probably not going to be the greatest day trading stock. It's just in a solid sort of trend. And you can probably just try to play the ranges on this one more successfully than trying to take breakouts here. And you'd look at this chart and you would say to yourself, okay, but why not look at post earnings 100 break, or maybe even getting to the high of the day? We're not that far away from it, but. It's on 19,000 shares in pre-market volume. Without even checking my imbalance locator, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when 928 rolls around and the NASDAQ imbalances come out, Hasbro probably isn't going to be high on the list because it's not the most actively traded name. Certainly waiting for any kind of a dip to maybe get into like a 94, 95, if you're looking to add something like this in your portfolio, makes some sense to me. On a day trade standpoint, I don't know that I see anything here, unless it gets really sold off in the open or something like that, and then maybe you get a bit of an expanded move, turns negative on the day, and then there's a bit of a bounce back play. That's about the only way that I could see myself getting involved in Hasbro. I don't necessarily even like the top break here. Breakouts on stocks with low volume and big spreads are very, very dangerous. You want to make sure there is liquidity, and I'm going to show you the live level 2 here to show you a dollar spread currently on 19,000 shares. 19,000 shares of volume and a dollar spread. That's going to make it very, very dangerous for any kind of a breakout trade. You buy the open on something like this, and you might be, paying an extra 1.5% from where it's going to settle in just a few minutes. So I would tread carefully if you're looking at this name. Maybe wait for a big dip if it even gets there.
So I don't know what's going to happen now, but let's see. Punching it out. Yeah, that's Hasbro today. For me, it's not a big enough. Move to do anything. The volume's not there. And there's a reason why I want to buy Roblox as well. Kids playing a lot of that. I like the Hasbro game. I like the thesis, but for me, man, volume won't be there today.
All right, let's go to these quote-unquote meme stocks moving around in the pre-market again this morning. It was interesting to note that BlackBerry was doing among the highest as far as volume is concerned early on. It has since died off a little bit, but we can have a look at GME, AMC, a lot of these back in positive territory as we saw on Friday, guys, and then the sell-off incurred.
It's interesting you just said that about BlackBerry because GameStop, little move to the upside. AMC also pushing up towards 7. GameStop just broke 70. BlackBerry still sitting on just off of these pre-market lows. So I'm eyeballing 13.75 here. If it's going to have relative weakness, and you catch a breakdown through that price on a pullback, that makes BlackBerry very intriguing to me. But I just mentioned GameStop up 13%. This is the move that just got put on now. And wowzers, I can tell you if this happens after the open, a 70 break was certainly going to be on the radar. I'm not taking that at 909. Pre-market, I don't necessarily love those types of plays, but that looks like a solid, clean move. And let's try to remember, in perspective, I know it doesn't seem like a heck of a lot, but bottom to top, the break to the upside was a monster one from $50 last week, right? It was almost a complete double. I don't know if there's going to be that kind of volatility in there today, but let's watch for that 75, 72 top. If it holds, it might be a quick rollover. But that's another breakout style trade you can have. 70 obviously looks pretty good. I don't think we're going to get that one again in the next 20 minutes or so. It'll take a bit of a sell-off here. But that 70, we'll call it 77 or 77 just to round up a little bit, looks like it's going to be in play. And there were some halts to the upside that you have to pay attention to in the event that the top end breaks. Obviously, I'm looking over at AMC as well, and we'll talk about that name as well, Sean, but I'm only seeing up a couple of percent as opposed to GameStop making some serious moves, and BlackBerry looking relatively weak, so looking 12.75. If I got a short one of them, it looks like it'll be BlackBerry today.
Yeah, remember we talked about Cardano as well, another cryptocurrency. I started talking about this on these kind of breaks down here, 17, 18 cents for Cardano, guys, back in January. Put it in the chat if you remember me talking about that. Cardano, now today, 68. So we're going to see that. Someone wanted me to see what was going on with XRP, so we could do that as well. XRP, of course, Ripple. I bought that at 30 cents on some of those downward moves. So Ripple, XRP, still making moves there. I still think Cardano makes a move. It's to stay in the top 4 maybe, and check and wait till Cardano gets listed on Coinbase if you want to talk about something spicy. Okay, look at this, guys. To the downward movement here, AMC. Look, this is the last 3 days. This is why I call it up. Do you see a trend here? Down, down, down. We do have moments of breaking up. I mean, there was a move here, and there was a move here. On Thursday, there was really no move to the upside, but Friday there was a decent move here, and then now today. So I pulled this out to a 3-minute chart. And the reason why, try to find some levels. And if we're going to go long, I mean, there is a possibility. I was looking at this 720 maybe in here. We had some resistance. Was the support at the bottom. Once it broke it, it never came back. So I don't know what it's going to look like on a test higher. So I don't mind a 720 break here on AMC. So that's what I'm going to be going with. Quick check in on the imbalance locator. And I don't really, actually not I don't really. I mean, Neil talked about BlackBerry. I see it on here. And yeah, AMC is not even on here, which is very, very strange. But okay, Palantir still leading the way and BlackBerry. So I like AMC through 720. Let's see if we can make that happen. Still 20 minutes to go.
All right, we talked about Apple there briefly to lead off the show. Hyundai and Kia shares down 6% and 8% overnight in Asia after both companies confirmed they are no longer in discussions with Apple when it comes to producing the iCar, we'll call it, the autonomous EV that they're looking to make. Bloomberg also reporting that Apple was not pleased with some of the terms that were presented as options from both guys. So, I mean, does this even affect Apple today?
I don't think so. I mean, it's down 0.4%. Obviously it has at least a little bit because the market's slightly to the upside and you're seeing Apple down to 0.4%. So to say that it hasn't affected it would be a bit of a fib because we're certainly see that play out in the price. But altogether, I don't think it's a huge deal. I mean, in particular, there have been lots of names that are bandied about, and there's a strong sense that Apple is going to be involved in the space. It's just a matter of who and a matter of when. And when you're talking about a few years down the line, this probably doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, you saw both Kia shares, Hyundai shares off significantly when this story broke. You're just not seeing that with Apple here. All that said, there is sort of Friday's 135 high, 136 area, a bit of a bottom. If the market does roll over, and after last week's solid gains, best week since I think mid-November actually. For the S&P anyways. If some of that is sold off on this Monday, yeah, I mean, Apple through 136 is probably going to be a solid play here, but I think that would be more of a market-driven event than specifically anything about Apple. I think it would be consolidating gains from last week as opposed to this story leading the chart. So, I mean, that's a similar play you'd look for if you're trading the futures.
So I use Bittrex and Coinbase. Someone asking about crypto on there, and yeah, crypto has been great. Like it's still a portion of my portfolio, both long-term and short-term. So that's why I'm super excited about it, but okay. I guess a lot of you guys are as well. No Dogecoin for me though, so I missed out on that move. But like I said, ADA Cardano is a good one. Okay, so Apple, I mean, it's down today. So to answer your question, yeah, I think it does affect Apple a little bit. They're just more pissed off that everything was leaked about the Apple car, and I guess they probably wanted to make that kind of announcement, and they've already had their Worldwide Conference for Apple, their WWDC, Worldwide Development Conference. So I don't know if they wanted to release that next fall. I'm not sure, but that's what they're a little bit upset about. I don't see anything. I mean, I just buy Apple on every single dip. Today's not enough of one. 137.50. I mean, we like that break. I think there's just bigger fish to fry today. So we'll look at Apple. I've been trading Microsoft just because we're on the tech names here. There's really no news for Softy here today, but we are now still at all-time highs. I mean, the chart for Microsoft looks a little different than that for Apple. You can see here we're just bouncing, and I mean this high was made a couple times back in January, just a couple days ago. This 245, we touched 245 again back on the 3rd, and I'm just wondering if we get to that today. So I'm super excited about a 245 break on Softy. It'll be one of the bigger plays for me today.
All right, speaking of all-time highs, Disney earnings this week coming up on Thursday. We had a whole bunch of movies that Neil's very excited about debuted as far as trailers are concerned during the Super Bowl last night. Guys, Disney trying here already, up 2% in the early going.
I think it's got a shot. We're very close to that 185 already. We sort of ticked pretty much pennies away from that price. Got the daily chart up, and we've already shown you this, guys. Disney, its volume isn't going to be through the roof because it never really is in the pre-market. And don't forget, they do still have earnings coming through on Thursday. So it would not shock me that in the event that, even if, and very likely, I think that we're going to get a break of that top, this 185, before Thursday happens. I'm going to be looking first things first at a dip buy. Look, again, on low volume pre-market breaks, I'm not taking them. So 185 on 100,000 shares of volume on Disney, probably not going to be a go. If it holds like a 183.50 area, which is about that pre-market low, there might be a bit of a dip here that you might be able to pick up. Certainly that 185 is one that I'm filing away for later on in the session and the rest of the week. It's a break I want to have while the market is open. Probably not as excited about it specifically on Thursday. I'd like to see that happen before Thursday's action. Sometimes you get a bit of a sell-off. The way earnings have gone, where you're seeing fantastic earnings across the board and not always bought up by the market. Some selling is likely to come in on Thursday on Disney even though I like the name, there's just no getting around the fact that you might see some selling come in on Thursday.
Yeah, you should never buy a stock based on like what you think is going to happen with earnings, because you don't know. And like Neil said, they could beat and then guide a little bit lower. There could be something in there that doesn't make sense and it gets hit. So I wouldn't buy this thing because of earnings. I don't care what the earnings are. Disney's just rocketed up. I mean, I'm embarrassingly long sub 100. It was an easy. I said it was one of the easiest buys during the pandemic. I mean, I don't know why anybody would think that Disney wasn't doing something here. Down, $100, $90, big breaks here. Any of these breaks should have been bought, even if they were wrong. They were only wrong temporary here on the 50-period moving average. Disney has everything working for it, man. We've already talked about that over and over again. So, I mean, I would just keep buying Disney no matter what the price is. I don't like it as much as Apple for longer term, but I mean, you've already got a base here at 177, 175-ish. So, I mean, yeah, just keep buying it. We're already breaking out. Just keep buying Disney.
All right, the next one here, guys. Gores Holding Incorporated, another SPAC being announced today, or a deal. This is Alec Gore's back, blank check company. Gores Holding, this is the third one, I believe, that they've done. There was Gores Metropolis was the first one we talked about many times. So they're going to team up with Matterport, the maker of 3D cameras, in a deal valued at $2.9 billion. If you look at the chart from Friday, this was obviously announced, or the news came out after market Friday. Huge move up here for GHVI on the NASDAQ.
Sorry, I want to quickly go to Naked Brands, just because Friday high 128. There was that move up on AMC and GameStop, mostly GameStop to the upside, and just saw Naked Brands pushing as well into Friday's high 128. I've just sort of shorted off of that when it started to come back to the downside. So just a position alert here. Got 124 in a quarter currently is my price with a 128 high there. Just want to let you guys know.
I didn't even look at GHVI yet, so I apologize for that one, Brendo.
It's been, the only reason we mention it, guys, is some of these SPACs on their first day can give you an opportunity. We'll keep an eye on that GH.
Brandon, sometimes they sell off a little bit on that first day, and this one just literally broke through that 13 low. So, I mean, for me, I'd be backing off this one. If you like it alongside, wait for a bit of a bounce, because we've seen these sell off in the past, and it looks like this one's going.
All right, blockchain stocks up next, guys. We'll jump down over that Canoe. We talked about Canoe a little bit with Mark Roberts down this morning because they have teamed up already with Hyundai and Kia, who Apple, we have learned now, are taking a pass on. Blockchain stocks, guys, big move, record highs, in fact, for Bitcoin today. I mean, there's lots of these now. BTBT was that one that is very, very volatile if you're looking for a crazy stock. Silvergate, which is SI, blockchain-based bank. There's Mara, there's Riot. Take your pick. Yeah,
for me, I would pick GBTC, but that doesn't mean that, like Neil mentioned actually earlier in the show, there's a lot of traders. And I even think my account I don't hold GBTC, I just hold the I guess, what I was going to say the fiat, but the actual coin itself, Bitcoin, which soon will be fiat currency. I guess it doesn't define properly, but Bitcoin is going to be the thing soon, as we all know. But yeah, BTBT, look, Shakib, shout out to you. You asked me about this before. I think it was around, I don't know what it was, I can't remember what it was, $26, $27, something like that. You said, does it have a chance to get back up here? Like, I don't know what BTBT was doing here go from 6 up to 33, but like with Bitcoin being now at all-time highs, should it not be somewhere near here? So I'm just wondering, I would probably stay away from BTBT because, again, it just doesn't, I don't really understand what's going on. You are up 21%, which is huge, so you could definitely go long. For me, what makes a little more sense is Riot. I talked about buying up this move down on Riot. I believe they had a share offering, or was that Mara? It was one or the other, or both had a share offering, which I think was a golden opportunity to buy these shares. And then this was the breakout that I'm talking about here. It's still, oh, damn it, shows going to Riot. I have to switch over. So I think it must have been Riot that there was this, oh yeah, it was. The share offering back into the 20s. So this is the level that I was talking about, breaking through 2171. We actually had some of these trades live on the show with you on these days. So now you're getting rewarded. This makes a lot more sense to me. Like I said, Riot now back to all-time highs, and you're going to get a breakout over this. So 27.80 looks like the high. What is this all-time highs? 29.35. I don't know if we get there. It's not going to follow crypto one-to-one, but I think we definitely take out this 28.50. Just got to have the market open up, and we just got into a position right now. Palantir takes out the top, 37.80. So that was a price. I mean, the top is 38.25, but I liked that breakout spot right here on Palantir. I do have some dip buys, but we are long initially right now on Palantir.
All right, guys, I saw a couple of people talking about some cannabis names here. We'll take a second here, have a look at cannabis names if you want. There's a number of analysts worth mentioning, not necessarily with upgrades or downgrades on these, but talking positively on the group in general and maybe raising price targets, including CGC. I saw a number of analysts here talking about higher prices for CGC and positivity surrounding the space. Sean, I know you like this one. Is there anything else we should be aware of cannabis-based today?
Yeah, there's a little company called GRWG that we've been talking about that for a while. Neil, Brendan, you guys know that, and so do our viewers. And look, this is a name, again, Grow Generations. I've called it, and again, you know, I heard it, Kramer was calling it the Home Depot. Look at Palantir go, by the way, right now. Nice little 15-cent win. We were buying this thing back here in September, October, $17, $18, $19. I like this because I think it doesn't matter really what the Democrats have to say. There's also Scott Miracle-Gro as well. You're not putting all of your eggs into the marijuana basket. I mean, Grow Generation sells the hydroponics, sells all the equipment. I think no matter what happens, this stock will work. And I would just keep buying TrueLeave, which is TRCNF or something. I'll find the symbol for you on the pink sheets, but it's a TRUL over here in Canada. And again, I just don't know if a lot of you can buy this, but I've been hella long this stock for quite a long time. Again, my charts aren't loading. TRUL, I bought this thing again years, like this is one of the very first ones that I bought, TrueLeave. So that's really working here as well. So I like TrueLeave. But what I really like the most right now, and again, hopefully the chart works, is this Palantir, guys. Right now, we're already at $38. We're long 37.76.
Yeah, I want to come, before we go back to you, Brendan, just want to come over to Silvergate. And we talked about this name in the last year as a bit of a different play in the crypto space, in the traditional banking sector as well. It's gotten rather frothy because since then you had an early year doubling, guys. This was consolidating in that 65 to like 75 range, and is now basically doubled up. It's going through the roof. And I mean, certainly, and again, this is only my opinion. It's probably not a horrible day of all days to take a little bit of profit on Silvergate. I mean, certainly at this point, spread it around. I mean, certainly you want to make sure you have some kind of exposure across the board, maybe not just to specific currencies, but having a name like this does make some sense. But at these prices, even selling a little bit to take some profit makes some sense to me, Brendan.
Okay, let's talk about a few little ones. There's Ocugen that's moving around this morning, big mover in the pre-market. Keep in mind, this thing has been on a tear over the past few sessions. Just 4 or 5 days ago, this thing was $1. We're at $9.50 this morning. So huge move up on Friday. We're extending that this morning. To me, this has to go red, so below 8. If it does get below 8, we see these kind of levels from aftermarket Friday. A lot of volume, a lot of attention on this, so be careful. If we do start to hold above this 9, expect the highs to be tested, 950, and then above that, I mean, sky's the limit, guys, for OCGN. Feels pretty strong so far.
Yeah, to say the least. I can tell you, I was shorting this one when it broke that 850 and then shorting off of that level and right into $8. And it's just no chance. It just couldn't get there. It had a couple of really, really solid tests at that 8 even before rounding out to the top. So I'll be watching 915 to that 965 top area. The only way you'll see me probably short off that high is if you get like a 930 failure through that high of day, or at least testing towards that high of day. Just to update you, I did get into that naked brands position. I talked about that 124.25. Thankfully got this wick here for some of my shares, and then the rest of them down at 123. So that's how you get like a 124.25 average price. It spiked down, able to give me some fills at 22, 21, and then 20. I have some more bids just in case we retest that 115 low. I'm just noticing AMC and no, GameStop is back below that 70 mark. So I was just about to cancel a bid when I saw that GameStop was back below 70 there. But it looks like a nice little scalp short so far on Naked Brands. So Ocugen and Naked Brands, both good starts for me this morning. Ocugen, like Brennan said, though, looking a little bit strong.
Okay, we took out, how much was this already? So we already took 20 cents there on Palantir. I do this every time. We get out right before 38 comes. So long 37.75, out a third of it right there at 38. We tweeted it out that we were trying to be patient for that. So let's wait to see now if we take out this 38.28. I don't want to sell any of this Palantir. It's coming back down. I mean, again, we know this is going to happen. That's why we take some of that profit. You see now Palantir, there's AMC, by the way, a bid. Palantir's not even on here right now. So that's what's coming off right now. You do see that buy imbalance. It was what? It was at 7, 8, 900,000. I don't even see it anymore. So here it comes rifling back down as the buy imbalance is gone. So that's why you take out that 20 cents right there for a little bit of profit. We're holding it. So we're not going to worry about this. We do have some downside targets on Palantir, like we talked about, 36 and change. It can get, you might not think it can get there, but it can get there. So we'll wait to see if that does happen. And then there's I thought I saw AMC on here. I thought I did. I did. There it is. AMC now a 381, but like Neil mentioned, it's coming back down. I only put an order out just now, 725 bid. So we talked about that break right here on AMC from Friday, bounced around at that 725 before eventually breaking it, retesting it one time, and then never seeing it again. So we'll see if that 725 can get going, but that's what I'm most excited about. And then the only position I have on right now is Palantir, and then we're going to be watching some NEO as well. And then GBTC, I don't know if I'll be trading it, but we'll be updating you guys on that. Riot, Blockchain, Mara, BTBT, lots of stuff happening. And then, by the way, buy some Cardano as well.
Yeah, not just stock analysis, not just a free watch list, but also in-trade analysis there. You see Palantir, while the market is about to open here. I'm going to give you LAIX, guys. This was last week, up on basically nothing. It's up another 27%, but selling off. And if you look at what happened last week, it was a monster drop. It was so weak all afternoon long. I'm seeing it fail right at the previous close. Right at this afternoon, a high price. And that failure is continuing. I'm looking at a 515 possible breakdown, which is any second now. So you might see me jump into this name from last week. It's a good one. At least it was a great day trade for me, especially in the afternoon. And man, it's been an active already hour. And if you don't like it, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. This market's probably going to be a good one this week. Take a second to hit that like and subscribe, guys, because we love it. I hope you guys love the show. I do want to go back, if I can, to that Ocugen. Still looking strong. Now pushing through that 915. So it looks like it's going to make a test at that high of day. If it immediately fails to break 965 off the open, I do think I want to take a short off of this level. But hopefully that'll be after 930 and not before it here, Sean.
Yeah, let's watch for Rocket to break through 22 as well. I think that's a good possibility here, especially off the open. We'll go pretty light on it. I don't see anything major news-wise about it, but we did see them yesterday. We didn't in Canada, but I know that they were on the Super Bowl a little bit yesterday. So watch out for 22 to break here on Rocket. We will be taking that trade as well. And then Virgin Galactic, another name that we haven't looked at too much today, 56.30, making moves right now to the high side as well. Virgin Galactic 56 in change, and looking also juicy on the daily chart as we're trying to break through this 57. So we'll see if that can happen as well right there on space. So that's space, and then Rocket through 22. Let's see if we can't take a shot on
Time to drop that countdown. It's Monday. The market is about to open. The Super Bowl hangover hopefully does not happen to the market as well, because GameStop just broke through 73, 3, 2, and what? He did some kind of a trick there. I'm not sure I saw the whole thing. I'll have to watch that on the replay. Robbie doing some fun action for us there. But a quick look on GameStop. It immediately failed through that 73 area. So you get a bit of a drop off there. That's going to be good for that Naked Brands position, which I just got taken out. And then BlackBerry did make that little break. And you see what just happened on BlackBerry? I mean, that is a monster fall. That's what happened when GameStop turned around. So BlackBerry just took out that bottom at 13.75. I just got short.
Yeah, you got to. I mean,
I got to watch that.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit through. You got to watch out for that BlackBerry and some of these meme stocks. Okay, Palantir, we did want to take the bottom out on Palantir there, but it doesn't really. It goes to 37. I said it could get to 36. We were not aggressive enough there, so let's take another 37.75 break on Palantir if it goes, guys. 37.75.
Yeah, and Ocugen immediately testing towards the top. I'm going to go tight stop. I don't like the way that I got into that BlackBerry trade. Ocugen immediately testing the top at 965. It's broken it, so I'm not going to be shorting through that high day. Looks like this one is off to the races. Said it was relatively strong. That is a bit of an understatement with Ocugen here. If it cannot get to through $10 and then comes back below, that'll signal a short for me. There it goes.
Okay, so there goes Ocugen as well. We do have Palantir breaking through that top, so we are going to wait to see if that gives us something now. 37.75, the top there. Don't know if that's going to be good or not, but we will wait to see if that can hit. We will get out if it comes back down to this VWAP spot right here. That's Palantir, guys.
Yeah, just got a little bit of that Ocugen there off of that previous pre-market high, that 965 area. Looks like 10 is going to be the wall. 990 is where it stalled out, so 10 is an obvious stop area. And I'm also going to probably have to reverse long on a pure momentum play through that price, guys.
Okay. Yeah, so Palantir, I don't really have an out spot yet. We are expecting it to come back down a little bit here. I'm thinking 37 even maybe. That was the dropping spot. We are nervous. We talked about Palantir and how it can fall against us. So that is a stock that we are looking at. We're also trying to trade a little bit of GBTC, but that's actually going downside. Thought it would be going upside, but it does not. GBTC falling down a little bit here, only up 15%. Just want to give you guys a quick update on that.
And if you can't beat them, join them. Of course, that short's not going to work on Ocugen, but immediately through 10, got 06s long. We're looking at 10, 40, just got some more shares out there. I mean, whatever. We'll go to hit, I don't know which one. We'll hit the power up right now. 1060 we're heading to on the high. We said it would be a strong one. I had to try the short. I was up on it short before. Now it's all about the long trade, Brennan.
Yeah, huge move there for that one. Cisco, guys, an early mover here. Big volume alert at the open. The print itself was much larger than usual. Heads up last couple of days last week. Very strong for Cisco moving so far.
Okay, Cisco, the party is there at Cisco. Okay, so Palantir, we did average in a little bit here at that bottom, still using 37 as an out. Let's see if we go. I mean, we were warned about this. We talked about how this one could fall down. So watch out. If it breaks through 37, your boy will be out of that. Other than that, we got to let it run a little bit here. We've been having huge days, so let's see if that can run through. Microsoft is not. It's actually coming to the downside. Look at the NASDAQ here. I mean, that's not going to help our long in a tech stock, right? So we have to watch out for Palantir. Here it comes, getting spicy again, 37.75.
And I just got all out there. We'll go, I don't know, we'll hit this king button. Just got the last out when it looked like it was turning on Ocugen here at 1080. I got it at 78, and it looked like it was about to head back down. Iceberg order, now it's slamming through, now making a run at $11. So this has been a high flyer for a few days in a row. I might play some breakout. Well, I was about to talk about playing a breakout at $11. And then it just tanked like 25 cents before getting bought back up. So wild action, very likely breakout scalp trading for me on Ocugen at $10. I want to be in and out of that one very fast, given how sharp that pullback just was a few seconds ago. I mean, the bottom dropped out when it stalled at 85, and it was like 25 cents lower. So watch out, be careful on that break.
Okay, yeah, and so the other one we still have right now is still Palantir. Still waiting for that one. Ocugen, Neil's all over that, so good trade there, my friend. And we're just going to watch for more stocks. We talked about XOM at $52, or was it $51?
Oh, AMC.
In the pre-market. Yeah, 51, so we already broke through that on XOM. Check back on AMC. What are we doing there?
Oh, my
670,
goodness.
so not going yet on AMC, guys.
Yeah, and I just saw GameStop back to $70 after hitting a 66 bottom, and AMC sort of lagging a little bit. I thought there might be a little bit of weakness in that name, but I didn't think there would be that much. It's going to be pie in my face on that BlackBerry, and I said I would have a relatively tight stop on it. I never want to usually get in breaking the low when it's made that kind of a move. It's how it travels into the play, and that's too much of a move to the downside. That's why you saw me take it out rather shallow, not even giving it to 14 even. Now here's high of the day, 14.20 coming on BlackBerry. If it cannot break through that, Let's see if we can't get a short, but it looks like there's no size on that offer. So watch out 1420. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
Another one with crypto ties, guys. Very strong for Square to start things off. This is 250, right at 250 right now, which is all-time highs for Square.
All right, no surprise there. And diamond hands for Palantir, guys. We talked about Palantir, what kind of damage this stock can do, and your boy damaged it, and we damaged it hard. The euros are coming right now. Look at Palantir, guys. This kind of here to the upside. We hammered it. We've hammered a lot of things today. Palantir, a good one. We were able to get out of our GBTC before it fell back down, and now we just continue to crush. So crushing names left, right, and center. Let's just keep watching Palantir. There goes Palantir, guys. Can't hear me. My mic is down, guys. What is going on
with my mic? Everyone wants the mic to go, so let's go to the high side. Fix that mic. Here goes Palantir to the high side. Let's go, guys.
And there goes LAIX. Missed it on the initial break there, but managed to get it when it broke $5. This stock continues to be weak. $4.90, we're going to have it to the short side trade there. Sean mentioned GBTC. I want to come over to GameStop. It's been a bit range bound, but we have not yet broken through 75 top. So looks like that is initial fail to break out. That's my initial read here, guys. So it seems like it's going to be weak. I'd watch out if you're trading that little bounce that you're seeing in AMC. But I'm looking bottom breakdown here on GameStop after that failed push to 75. 66, the current open range low here. That's the first break for me.
Okay, yeah, GameStop breaking as well. But Palantir, guys, we are just huge. I hope the mic is fixed. You guys let me know if it's fixed there. Yeah, thank God Sean's energy is loud enough. Bang! You guys are 100% right there, and we're walking on water today. As you can see what Palantir is doing. Sometimes, Neil, it's just one great trade, right? You don't need more than one to be here. So we're ripping upside right now on Palantir. Should have held it even higher, but we just got some out at 40s there. Do not, we always say this, but make sure that you're able to get out of your positions and not just, cheer about them too hard. You want to make sure you can capture some profits here, guys. But Palantir will get some more out. 38.40, big contract with IBM as we just continue to go. Disney also making highs right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Disney, one that we want to make sure we look at. This is one of those things that's going to happen to you here. While I'm getting that LAIX, because I wanted this one bad to the short side here through 490, or sorry, 5 even. Disney makes its break through the top. Maybe we can defend that 185, but certainly we thought there'd be some strength in Disney going into that earnings. Definitely going to be playing a pullback in Disney. And I'm still seeing continued weakness. My eyes are on 66 for that GameStop breakdown, but also headed towards its low is AMC. So either one of those probably actionable through the low of the day, Brendan.
Just checking on this one. ChemPharm, KMPH, little pharmaceutical, clinical stage pharmaceutical company. All kinds of volume coming into this thing. Just broke $9, which is recent highs here, guys, for KMPH.
All right, Palantir is still making us laughable right now. Excuse me, with what kind of net we're doing here on this. This is more than $1 now in the money as we go. So beautiful trade here, I'm hoping for anyways. We'll just continue to go to the high side right now as this is 38.90. We've got to take some out here. It's the only stock I tweeted out, guys, today was this move here on Palantir. So we did talk about that one. One of the big ones, we were waiting for that to happen. We cracked it, and now we're just laughing here on Palantir today, guys, as it just keeps on getting better and better for us. Just took some out. We never, ever watch that 39 and don't take some out there, right? So I think that's definitely something that you guys have to watch out for.
Yeah, and we're going to go back to Naked Brands if I can for a second. We did get that last out on the market open. I want to make sure I was taking profit. Now we're back to that exit price at 118, 119 or so, just above it. If we're going to get a push through, and it looks like we are heading towards that low on both GameStop and AMC, I'm going to also like Naked Brands below VWAP here, guys, at 120. LAIX still looking pretty good, but OcuGen on the bounce. So it's about to make a retest of that high of day. If we cannot get to like a 1070, 1080 with a 1088 high or 11 breakout, obviously, I'm going to be looking to short this one. It seems like it bounced off VWAP here, and I still like the 11 breakout for a scalp trade, but if it can't even push to like a 1050 to 1070 area, that's going to be a rather weak sign for me on OcuGen. Here comes the bottom, 650 on AMC. Brendan?
LiDAR companies moving again this morning, guys. Microvision here, 13.5%. That's off the high as well. 1346 was the high there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now straight to the upside for MVIS.
All right. Yeah. So we just talked. I mean, Palantir is actually still going. I didn't think it would keep going this much, but it is 38.80, 38.90. We did stop a little bit, so we are going to keep getting some out here to the high side and keep looking for other trades to make for you. Check back in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's falling 43.5, so you can see the kind of action GBTC has done. We were lucky enough to get out of the way early on this name, so GBTC really not suffering anything to the downside today. But you know, it does make that move, so we're going to watch out for that one. What else did we have? We're looking at AMC. I know Neil talked about that today.
Sean, AMC did just break that 650. I'm scalping out of this rather aggressively because GameStop just bounced off of the high. So if they were both breaking that low, I would certainly be holding on to this a little bit better, thinking more than 5-10 cent scalp trade. But that's a little bit of relative strength that I'm going to see. So you go in, you sort of make your money and run. And if GameStop's going to test 70 even, there's no way that I'm going to be sitting holding the bag on that little short trade. We can take these breakouts because the volatility is there. So in and out, a little bit like a ninja here, and then making sure that we don't take a hit. Just got the last out flat on AMC. So nice little break. 50s took you right down to 640, but the key was GameStop pushing to the upside. So I'm not holding that short, guys.
Yeah, and it's looking at both of them, right? And then here goes Palantir. I mean, look, I'm still on this name. It's breaking through now, 39. So I'm just going to keep on looking at this until it kind of fails me. And right now, it's not. So GameStop right now, whatever this is here, Palantir still going. We just took some out now to the high side. So a good little trade there. I apologize. I'm only looking at really one name here. NIO as well, 56.65, looking to make some bottoms here, 56.50. We talked about that with Mark Roberts saying, like, why is there no love back in Neil? But maybe we pick some up on the cheap side here through 56. I'm still watching this Bitcoin, man, still falling. And
there goes Occugen. It looked like it was a bit of an iceberg order. I thought maybe it was going to halt on me. 11 break. And then I just saw like an all kinds of iceberg order at 11.35 there. So I end up taking like 30 cents out. And of course it's still going. So Occugen, good break at 10. Seems like it's might be just as good at $11 as well. And I know we're just focusing on a couple of names here, but Occugen off to the races, Brennan.
Guys, some of the airlines popping up here with some strength coming through. Delta to offer vaccines to employees 65 and older. Okay, I'll keep reading here, but DAL 3% straight to the upside so far, 41.40 to 42.40 for Delta.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that's acting like, okay, so Afria right now. Oh, let's go to CGC. We talked about Weed Batman. Oh, okay, it's on New York. It's on NASDAQ now. Where is my Weed Batman thing? Weed Batman is going to be in the building soon here for CGC as it gets up to 2%, 44 and a change here. Watch out for this. Oh, we're already higher. This is a 1 minute chart. So watch out. I mean, I don't know what these dark prints are, but $43, $44 looks to be pretty spicy right here for CGC. So let's see if it can't hold that $44 mark, guys.
And there is a halt. I mean, it finally did. I thought it was going to halt a few pennies before, but it did not. Occugen halted at 11.67. So, I mean, if I take a breakout trade, we always try to label exactly our intentions here. It's always going to be usually in and out rather quickly, whether that's growth or time-based, just making sure, of course, at NASDAQ trade halts, that I am looking at a volatility halt there, guys. And GameStop just broke through the low. So from one into another, I talked about that 66 break. That will probably be the first trade. Just got some up for a quick little 50-cent scalp. See if we can't make another one. I mean, 650 was a good break on AMC. Occugen breaks the upside good. GameStop so far so good on a breakdown at 66 even. So these trades working out so far, Brennan and Sean. But Occugen, I'm going to watch. If we get a halt, reopen, downside, I want to be able to play that one to the short side if I can. I like those reopen plays.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So we will trade those. Neil's good at some of those reopen plays, like you said, they're off halts and whatnot. But Palantir, okay, there it is, a nice little out there at 38.50. Look, this is why we cleaned it out. We are very, very light now on Palantir, so we will continue to watch that. Ford at 11.50, also something a little interesting. What's up, Bren?
Just saw some of the chip makers flying by on a volume scanner here. I'm just going to bring up NVIDIA for you. You can see NVDA among the leaders so far, guys. Just broke 560 there on a volume spike. We're at the top end of the range on the daily chart for NVIDIA.
I guess we could look at AMD as well.
And I don't know which ones to hit, guys. We're going to go with, I got to hit this one because I like it. Only to see the net go upside, but I'm floating on some GameStop here. It broke through 65. Now, I wanted to take breakout trades here, get in and out, but I couldn't even catch that one. I was able to get some more shares out at 66, so it's now a clean $2. I'm going to hold on to the rest just to see how far we can go down. I mean, obviously, This is a pure momentum play. You have seen the stock base out recently, so you got to watch to those Friday bottoms. Around that 60 was a ton of support down there. I would certainly take some out on that road. I'm not sitting here trying to hold it all day long. That's not the style of trade here, and doing that on GameStop, I think, is sometimes a potential suicide. So going to hang on to it, hopefully down into that 60, and if we can get a $5 winner, I'll be very, very happy with that return. AMC also broke down through 650. I scalped that once, but then missed a second because I was playing GameStop.
Okay, yeah, we're going to try to get the same kind of reactions here with AMC as, yeah, it's down that 7+% right now and not looking great. So we'll have to wait to see how far this wants to go. But yeah, down, it broke that bottom. We were waiting for 725. We talked about it last week that it wasn't trading that well. So that still remains to be the same here, it looks like anyways, for AMC trading to the downside. That's why we put a 3-minute chart up for you guys to show you. BlackBerry, though, Neil, I know you were looking at possible short there. Were you able to get? I know you're on OCGN, but that read to 1450. Okay, we'll talk
That's
about that.
my losing stock of the day, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry about that. I was
All
looking
good.
at meme stocks. What's up, Brendan?
Big mover from last week, guys. 52-week highs now for this one. T2 Biosystems, 11.5% again today. So we did actually, looks like, get higher than this, maybe in the pre-market on Friday, up to 390. But 52-week high alert here for TTOO.
Ooh, I remember them. Not to be mistaken with the actual Take-Two, T2 Biosystems. But that BlackBerry, like I said, I didn't like the way that I got into that short. I mean, I like the level, that 1375 breaking, but anytime you have that big of a push down to the entire pre-market range made up, and essentially like less than 1 minute, and then you're short at the bottom right at the open, I mean, I just wanted to get out of it almost as fast as I could. So we'll end up shooting a good foul shooting percentage so far today, which I suppose is a good thing. It means we're up on the day, so I'll take it. OCGN still, did we open up yet? Yeah, sorry, 1 minute until it likely opens back up. If it doesn't, that just simply means it's a 10-minute volatility halt. But the reopen play I usually look for is if it opens below and then holds the halt price at 1167, so no break of that price, I'd look to short something in the 40 to 50 range if I can, using that as my out. And then it's a hard stop. If it breaks that top, you're usually looking for another long break. And it's still a relatively strong stock, so keep that in mind, guys.
Okay, yeah, I'm also getting out of Palantir right now as we talked about that a few times today. If you haven't noticed, Palantir, a good stock for us here today and for me especially. Well, I guess Neil, I don't think has traded it yet, but we're going to wait on it as it just comes right back down. So now we are very, very light. I'm literally 5% of Palantir. We talked about that on the high side and what we liked for that, not moving too much though. Space, another name, we looked at that 56 level. It looks like that's coming off just a little bit now. Space coming back down to $55, $58. I don't know. I don't know about space. Let's check out Apple right now as well. I mean, I'm trying to find some stocks that are really moving. The Nasdaq's not doing a hell of a lot. Like, look at Apple. What can we do with this? I mean, picked up 135s maybe. DraftKings, Neil, that's another name that we talked about early 6, and that's coming down to 62 right now. So lots happening, but not much happening at the same time. I mean, DraftKings. We can look at Tesla. I was looking for that 900 break. That didn't even happen yet either. So right now, stocks coming back. I'm actually going to cancel my 900 break on Tesla.
Yeah, and immediately, as good as it looked for a split second on OCGN, is as fast as I'm getting out of that short. And I ended up not reversing to the long just because it was a little too crazy price action. And I saw a refresher at 12 even, and that's now 2 times 12 even is held. So I did get in when it looked like it was going to flush 1160, and then immediately out at 1180 or so. And then here you go. So this is what I'm talking about. You got to have a plan of action. Had a hard stop there. Wanted to make sure that it would not break through too far through that high. That was the reopen play. In and out. Like a ninja is always going to be a heck of a lot safer than holding the bag. I wanted to go back to, if I can, and we'll talk about some Bitcoin before, but BlackBerry actually still showing some signs of weakness. It's now got a double bottom, however, so that same 1375 that I liked for the breakdown, now looking like some support on BlackBerry. I'm still holding that GameStop short. It's about $1 or so in the money, but it has bounced a little bit as well. Brendan?
Blink charging, guys, just popping up on this headline. We'll go to our friends at Seeking Alpha here. Blink charging expands EV charging infrastructure and manufacturing, I can tell you, in the New Hampshire area. So big volume spike here for BLNK, 55 to 57.5. Looking like it might want to hold 56, guys.
Yeah, we saw some Blink movements earlier, not to mistake it with Blink 182, I think. Famous Canadian place there.
That's the one.
Okay, Tesla's falling, 860 there. Riot, we talked about Riot and Mara. Let's just check in on those ones quickly here. Riot.NQ, we'll have a quick look to see what they're up to. And yeah, they're up to the same old thing here. falling, just like BTC is. We talked a little bit about Bitcoin and what they were doing. I actually closed that Bitcoin chart. I'll have to find it up for you very, very soon. But here's GBTC, just to give you an idea of what's happening over there in crypto land. It is falling, but it's trying to make a little bit of a comeback right now. You may want to pick some GBTC up here if it breaks above this 43.35 level, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love that analysis, and you got to look for some breakouts on the charts, guys. And speaking of breakouts, at a certain point, I usually start hunting for the short on the break, and there was a couple of good ones in Occugen. It looks like it's trying to halt. I mean, it might halt to the upside right here if it cannot reverse off of this current high at 1382. So you heard a couple of us say that it was a relatively strong stock. It was pie in my face. I said there would be a potential reverse here on Occugen, but I didn't get my order out. I was too busy making sure I got out of my short to ensure that I got the long break there. I would have had to quickly change my default, and I did not want to get burned in that split second getting caught in the short, but that is a huge run up. It's now halted again to the upside. Occugen is off to the races. It's gonzo. Brendan?
The other one making moves on crypto ties, guys. PayPal, obviously, through highs here in the pre-market this morning. A great opportunity there. All-time highs, 3% for PayPal, Sean.
Yeah, we love our all-time highs. Okay, we actually bought a little bit more PayPal last week, or not, well, when it was earnings. I think it was last week. So a nice little move back up. I think it was 240 and change, 250 and change. A nice little move upside for PayPal. Check back on its friend Square to see what that wants to do right now. Square 2, wow, 250 for Square. Wow, that was a big pickup also there back when we were wondering about what the world was going to come to. But 940, 240, 250 there. 250, 150, not bad. I don't want to go short these names, but the NASDAQ is like giving us that. Let's check back on Microsoft here. This could be a good opportunity to pick up some Microsoft because, I mean, look at this chart, guys. It's so choppy. Maybe there's a name that we're missing. Let me just keep checking.
I'm sort of kicking myself because we did. I did mention Apple to the bottom here. Now, it's never my first look isn't usually, let's make a momentum short on Apple through the break. But I mean, obviously that 136 has come to the downside. I'm still just hanging on to LAIX and GME. LAIX, and apologies for not coming back to this name a little bit earlier, it's just not doing much. It's range bound off that 5 break. I mean, I like the fact that it tried to break through 5, and if I ever see a failed break through a level like that, I'm usually going to add to my short position, which I did do here. I just got a first profit take in front of 475. I'll add another one down around that same price, and then hopefully looking for a flush back to Friday's close was at 410. That is as good a target as any as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, agreed. And okay, we're trying to trade a few different names here as we go. So we are going to be a little bit caught up in some of these different names. Okay, so Palantir still going. Microsoft looking at that bottom again. We talked about that, 242 and change. What else did I even write down today? Let's check out some eBay. Oh, me and Brendan and Neil, we all talked about second day moves. So let's check out eBay. We saw that they had some big earnings the other day. 63.30 as the top here on this name. Naked Brands, Neil. I know you were trading that in the pre-market. 117-ish? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, see, the only reason I'm actually not short this one is because I'm still hanging on to that last little bit of GameStop. And if I'm going to be trading these lockstep, shorting on the low on Naked Brands when I'm not getting it at that 120, well, I'm trying to hang on for this last little bit to see if GameStop comes back up. And speaking of which, I should actually go over to this chart just so you guys can see the move that it's making. It's making a push into VWAP. Now, the reason I don't want to take it out, it's going to be tricky to get liquidity into this on the rollover. If it does happen through like a 67.5, 68, so if it does roll, I want to have a little bit on board just in case I miss it, but I'm looking to add to this one off of VWAP. And I still like potential breakouts here. It's probably going to be something a little bit more like a 70 break or that 75 because the even numbers have just been a little bit kinder to me when I do long breaks on GameStop. Brendan?
EA with earnings last week, guys. This one just popping up. Take-Two Interactive, 3% through highs there. This is now all-time high territory as well for TTWO, 211.50.
Okay, we're just trading away here. And yeah, I'm trading this something on a pink sheets here, but it's not giving me too many fills right this second. So we'll have to wait to see what it wants to do. But yeah, good trading right now. And then Palantir still trying to go as well. So yeah, we are stuck in a trade here, guys.
Sorry, I might have just got it could be that rollover. Right at VWAP here is at GameStop, and it's approaching that 68. So I did add to my position, get myself like a 67.30 price or so based on the 2 entries that I have. And it's going to be a tight stop. And if I'm shorting off of a push like that in GameStop, believe me, it is always going to be a very, very tight stop there. So I'll give it to that 68 even, and then look for the next trade. Disney has not given the pullback I'm looking for. I'm not ignoring the stock altogether. I just wanted to see it actually come back and sustain a bit of a bounce at VWAP. Each time, it's essentially wicked down, giving you no entry, and then held the high of the day. That's not perfect for the entry that I would like here, guys. And GameStop, if it approaches that 65 again, I'm likely to take some profit off, scalping this in a bit of a range here, guys. So a nice little trade there. Ocugen, I am waiting for the reopen of Ocugen. It'll be a very similar plan to before. I always like to play these reopens the same way, so you might see a bit of a rinse and repeat action here, but I'm trying not to get too burned on Ocugen to the short side. Brennan,
what's up, bud?
Nice day for Twitter so far, guys. Positive here, but coming back in a hurry. Just had a volume alert above 58.50, which if you go to the daily chart was that last high right there, 58.50. So a bit of a pullback for Twitter, but up 2%.
You know, that's another name that we probably didn't look at enough here as I look at Naked Brands again. Let's have a quick look at Twitter. I do like to trade that one to the long side. Wow, 58. Wow, Brendan, wow. Yeah, thanks for bringing this to our attention. Up, come on, charts. Up a little bit here and now fading back in 57.66. Like, where's a good spot to buy this thing here? Yeah, 57.60, I think. Let's see if we can't defend 57.60. Let's put some bids low side here, 57.70 or so, and then see if it holds this 60 right down here. I like that bottom. Let's see if it can hold it. Let's start getting long now in case this NASDAQ bumps.
In the words of from Winston in Ghostbusters 2, I missed it. I missed it. I got GameStop here. It's a good short. LAIX is a good short. Oh, but oh my goodness, Ocugen. This is the setup, right? So I mean, this is exactly what you're looking for. I mean, it holds that halt high. I'm very picky about this. I only wanted it in that 1350 range, something a little tight to it. I had a discussion with this about a trader on the floor, where if you chase this too far, and obviously if I chase it and I get like 1280s, it halts down at 1244. That's going to look like a fantastic trade in hindsight. But believe you me, if it breaks through the high of the day and you're at $1.20 plus slippage, maybe you don't like it quite so much, so I didn't chase the trade. But I got to be a little faster on those keys. Thankfully, I can do this. Did I hit the bull when I should have hit the, yeah, whatever. I should have hit the bear. I mean, the stock's going down. So I talked about that little scalp off of VWAP here in GameStop, so I did reload. Able to get some out in front of 65, so you'll talk about like $1.50 from from my average price, from the actual high, it's a couple of bucks. If it tests below that 65 even, I'd love to see us go back to the low. If it holds this low at 63.5, I'm very likely to just get out of all of it, take the $4 and run. GameStop for now has been my #1 stock. Ocugen, if I hadn't tried any shorts, would certainly be, but that stock now looking like it's coming to the downside after that halt trade. Halted down, guys, so watch out. If you're in that Ocugen, maybe take a little bit of profit. It's been such a good runner. Big downward halt just now.
Yeah, I don't really like holding things through halts, guys. So be very, very careful if you're doing that. And look what we did here. Just a small little trade on Twitter. We talked about defending that level. Let's see if we get some out at 99s there. We'll sit. Maybe I should use a free gateway to get some out. We take some 83. There it is, out. So we just got out there at 99s. Was that 99? Or yeah, 99. So that was good. A little bit of a late fill happening there because I thought we already got those. So out some 99. So 58, 84, 57, sorry, 88. What am I long at there? 57.84, out 99s for a nice little win. So we'll punch Twitter out there for only 20 cents, but we're going to wait. We still are holding a little bit more. We're going to see about defending this 57.60 level all the way to the downside. So there's still that. We talked about luck and coffee a little bit. I haven't even looked at this really yet today, or not really, but not at all. Come on, charts, let's go. Bankrupt stock, come on, luck. And there it is. So it starts at, wow, okay, it starts at 7, makes a way, move down to 650, and now backing upside. So we talked about in the pre-market and why it was a good stock. So that's luck and coffee. And then Bitcoin GBTC right now just kind of hovering around. So we did have a nice long off the open. We talked about that. And then that we made a little bit of money. And now we're going to see if we can't make a little bit more. Like I said, if it breaks this 43.35 to the high side, I do like GBTC there. So that's another runner for us, guys.
And I got nothing against Hasbro. My brother actually loves this company. Wow, I mean, he's an animator and he makes kids shows. So of course he loves Hasbro. But either way, this is why you don't touch these bad boys for any kind of a breakout trade. When you have light volume and sort of earnings or whatnot, and it didn't actually break 100, so thankfully I don't think it would have burned anybody. But you do see that drop off. It's given it everything back to now down 3% on the day. Oops, let's go this way so you can see the daily chart right into that 50 period. So if this stock can actually level off and the market can be a little bit obedient here, not a horrible play. I still hate the volume on it for a day trade, but this actually looks like a pretty solid setup. And there goes GameStop once again. So I don't know. Am I actually going to look a gift horse in the mouth? That's what it looks like I'm doing right now, unless I get out in front of that low of the day. I think there's breakdown trades to be had. That's certainly going to be true. If it breaks the low, fair, you can get in, you can get out, you can scalp it. But if it's going to put in a higher low, which it looks like it's trying to do here, and I keep saying this, sometimes you just got to be active instead of passive. I'm sitting there, oh, let's bid in front of 64.50. Yeah, forget that. Let's just get out on the offer in front of that 65. So we'll take about $2.75, $3 worth of a winner. I can check the exact decimal amount. Who cares? It's about scalping these trades in and out. If it takes low of the day, it'll be another in and out trade for him. Not really holding anything. I mean, if it goes parabolic through 75 and squeezes and you get multiple halts, those are moves that maybe you can hold through. I'd rather just play the pure momentum and be in and out of these trades as fast as possible and not try to fight anything too hard with GameStop personally.
Okay, Twitter's coming back down a little bit. We do have some bids. I thought I had some bids. What happened to the bids there? To the downside. So I think we can get some more long here. Defending this 57.60. It's a name that we like. Up that 2%. You can see Twitter here on its, shoot, it looks like my daily chart froze again here on CGC. So we will close that and get back to you. But right now, happening now with Brendan Wickens. Take it over, my man.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock, just like that. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Still nicely positive. You can see right across the board, the S&P 0.5%, the Dow 0.6%. You can see the NASDAQ trying to lead things for us again today. 0.7% for the composite there, the 100 0.5%. Small caps really strong as well. 1% for the Russell right now. 1.05%. In fact, the S&P TSX here in Toronto, 0.75% to the upside. We keep going. It's positive right across the board, guys. Couple things from the watch list. Sean, all over this one. Palantir, 13% on that IBM news on the watch list. Top of the watch list, in fact, this morning. 38. Great opportunity up to 39 and change. Trying to hold. In fact, above 38. Tesla as well. Yeah, we mentioned the strength. Not so much. Once we did get to the open here, a little bit of selling. 875 back to 862. Looking like it might want to test day lows, guys, for Tesla.
I feel like every now and then we talk about getting exposure to other names within a space. Several times we've mentioned GAN. A couple of times we've mentioned the score when it comes to the mobile gaming. Yeah, their score up 13% here in Canada. That's the way you see .to, so it's on the TSX here. Just owning up 13%. I just saw someone throw it into the chat, but this is a name that we've been talking about. We talked about this pullback in the 275 to 3 even area. So another runner within the space, if you're looking for a little additional exposure beyond, say, DraftKings or Penn, that could be one of them. Ocugen reopened and then continued its push to the downside. Now, it's not nearly as crazy as before, but it does look like this previous bottom, 11 even, this was the reopen low when it was halting to the upside. That's going to be a big one. If it breaks that, momentum short through 11 even. Let's see if we can catch it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good look there. Neil's been hitting GameStop pretty nicely as well. So I think we got to look over at AMC again, 620, the bottom. Okay, just to look at this, we do have a little bit of a potential here at Palantir. We still have that dollar in the money. It's back to VWAP though, right? So we got to watch out. It's not, well, it's 70 cents in the money right now, Palantir, but it is bouncing off this VWAP. So I'm very, very cautious of what's about to happen next. Watch out. If we could retake this 38.44, I think it's another long, but that's going to be a little bit of a time to go from here, guys.
Yeah, so I just got 93s to the short side when Ocugen broke that 11. Quickly scalps them out to 72 and it looked like it was stalling. I mean, VWAP's right here. I mean, we're also right in the middle of this initial breakout range. We had that 10 long. So if it were to hold this bottom, which it looks like it might, I actually want to get out of this one almost at break even if we can. So I'm going to get in the first little bit. It bounces off. VWAP does not follow through. And again, it's about getting in and out as fast as you can. That time I almost did this. And look, I know you guys have been asking, what does it look like when Neil looks a gift horse in the mouth? That's what it looks like, but I'm not going to here. Take the profit and run. Almost every single one of these shorts has been as fast as I can getting in and out, just because it's volatile markets and these stocks are going absolutely crazy. I don't want to use another term because I don't want to get us could have kicked off of YouTube here by saying a cuss word there, Sean, but you know what I'm talking about. They're going bat-ish crazy, and LAIX, thank goodness, is not. So I'm going to come back to this name, and sometimes there's a short trade that I'll be in that I might just hang on to for a longer period of time. I do feel like this one could be it. I just want to make sure you guys know what happened to this stock all afternoon on Friday after insane movement. It got up to $12. It spent the entire afternoon basically puking all over itself, and this was the key level at 6:30 when it finally broke down. It closed at 4 even. It showed the same kind of weakness. I think you can get back to that 4 even bottom. I'll likely be out of everything and looking for an afternoon trade at that point, but it's safely in the money, 20 cents, and I'll probably start scalping some out in front of 450. Good as whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. They're good as level as any, guys.
Good as level as any. There you go. Yeah, you
What did
got
I
it.
say?
You got it. You
I
got
don't
it.
know,
You got it. Okay, so just making sure that we have the right trade set up here for Twitter as we average in. I'm not. Shoot. So market. So this is the thing. Like market's going up right now, and Twitter's going to the downside. So I am still going to stick to there. It is to that break. So I was going to say I'm sticking to the break, and it breaks through 50, and we get out. So I just don't want to be bottom wicked on this. So we'll wait to see if we can get it one more time here, just in case that was the pressure to the downside that we just got relieved there. So I think that Twitter. I don't want to say that was the bottom there, but we may. I don't average in too often, but we may have to do that right now. 57.20 or so here, the bottom for Twitter. I think we can get back in. That might have just been the blowout there for us to the top side. So watch out for Twitter. Yeah, okay, it bounces right there at 57.40. I think we can go more long right now again and use that bottom.
Yeah, and just going to come back to what looks like it's still a weak name here, and on the lows is going to be Naked Brands. Anytime I see GameStop testing the lows and Naked Brands already there, that 113, I got to watch it, guys. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one on a possible bottom break heading towards that 1 even. If you're still watching Ocugen, it's holding up at least a little bit nicely. If you're in that long trade off of that little VWAP play here, at some point, I mean, 1050 is probably going to go if we don't get a push through that I guess secondary halt price, and that's at 1244, the downward halt. If we don't break through that and test the high again, I'll definitely be looking for a 1050 as my next trade on particular in Ocugen, guys, showing some strength right now. I'm not going to be taking a long once I get that downward halt. I'm now looking for the upside. Downside, Brendan?
Big pop here on VERU. Guys, just checking on a follow-up announcement for them. They did announce positive data on one of their drug trials in the pre-market. That was the initial pop here for VERU. But going again, you can see on big-time volume, guys.
You know, I saw them going on Friday, VERU, so no surprise to see them going one more time there. But Twitter right now, okay, so we did get back in. I just want to review that. We're back in at the same levels. It does spike up for us, gives us a little bit of a winner there. It went as high as 670 there, so we're only long at 58. So we are going to try to capture this win backside now, taking a little bit out if we can get out at 70, but our long right now 58. I just thought that might have been the blowout that we got out at the very bottom, so not a great trade, but we did take some profits. Now we're looking to get back in, so our average price right now 57.58 as it's trying to go here. NASDAQ trying to go, so I'm going to see if we can hold this. Right now it's 11 cents in the money, but we do want more here on this name Twitter, obviously, as we go, guys.
And of course, Brennan mentioned T2 Biosystems. Now, remember, this stock made a run last week. It did put in a high, double high, and I'm sure Brennan mentioned the 390 here. It's starting to get into my radar now that it's pushing up. It just failed at 380, so shy of the Friday high. That's the first sign of weakness, at least this morning, that I've noticed. So you get that little pullback. If it consolidates off of that, I guess failed break or whatever you want to call it, failed test of Friday's high, I'm going to like this to the short side trade. And I think when I take that short, it's not going to be till the Friday high. I'll either give it to that 75 or to the current high of day. Want to stay nimble on a stock that's been this strong and is doing such good volume rather than sort of dig in a little bit too deep. Watching out for GameStop here, it looks like it's headed down towards that low. So 63 could break. We'll see if we can get that for a momentum play again.
Okay, and yeah, we've got this one as well, so we'll feel like Superman. We haven't seen Valeria too much today, but this has been a big trading day for us today here on the show. We'll get to her in a minute as we're going to ask for a few likes. So guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do it very, very soon. Oh, we have a new, there it goes, I just missed it. We do have a new animation for that. But look at Twitter, guys. We just talked about defending that bottom, so now we'll make some money back here as we'll hit a cowbell. Oh, we have a couple new animations today as well. Twitter now going to the high side, although I'm not going to celebrate it too much. It's still like to get into some profits. What's up? I think we're ready for Valeria. What's up, V?
Hey guys, if we get more likes, more people will be able to find us on YouTube search. So please support the community and hit thumbs up. Back to Sean.
Okay, yeah, or share it. I mean, that was one thing that we talked about before, is that we also want the community to share this opportunity with other traders. We know that this community is strong, right, in trading land. So if you can, the share button, I believe, is right here. Share. So that makes a lot of sense. Let's see if we get to 3K here, Valeria. We'll see if we can get that right now. 12,000 watching. We've been going over a lot of different moving names and different parts here, so I think we should be able to do it, Neil. Big wins right now, 20 cents on Twitter and $1.50 right now on Palantir.
And sort of my brow there. That last break on GameStop was a little bit hairy. 63 broke. I got literally the worst price I could at 85 is as far as I crossed. It's exactly what I got. And instantaneously, and I wish I could have shown you guys this on the level too, but just instantaneously there was, I want to say, not even an iceberg, but there was just a lack of, sell volume through to about this 62.50 area. There was some buy support that came in, and the bids just stepped up. But as obvious as you could say to just get out of it on the short-term trade. So quick scalp in and out. I'm not trying to hold this one. If it makes a bottom, it could get a little bit violent towards the upside. And try to remember, just going back into Friday, there was this 63 level was resistance all afternoon, and then right in the aftermarket, this ended up being a bit of a bottom. Now, it didn't really push off this level, but certainly there was somebody willing to pick up some shares at 63 in the aftermarket Friday. Whether or not that's what happened here on the failed 63 break, I don't know, but I run to the exits rather fast when I do see it, guys. And if anyone is ever curious about how we read level 2s and whatnot, not a horrible thing to ask when we do our little AMA, or a little AMA a little bit later on today. Sean. Yep. I don't know if you saw this, but AMC, man, I'm sitting short in the break on the GameStop, 63, and it was failed. AMC just flushed through 625 and now down to $6. This is the relatively weak one, down 11% now, and short sell restricted, of course, down over 10%.
Remember we were saying that in the pre-market, we were saying like, why was GameStop up that 10% and AMC not? Like, I think the fair value of AMC is a lot lower than that of GameStop. So again, and you know what? These aren't really these meme stocks anymore, man. I mean, AMC had its run, it had its glory days. Okay, here goes Neo, 57.50. We waited for this break. We talked about that in the pre-market. I wanted to take this top out. We were letting it sort of absorb itself down there. Should have got longer earlier, but right now, 57.50 in Neo. Let's see if it wants to get going now. The daily chart, you know, there's that break. Sorry, this is not the daily chart. This is just a 1 minute chart, but there's that high break. And if you look at a daily, I don't even know if my dailies are working today. We're just trying, like we were trying to break out here. So I think if we can get to 58.50, that's going to be a nice little breakout. But hey, right now, guys, 18 cents in the money off that 57.50 break, 30 cents in the money on Twitter, and 90 cents in the money on Palantir. 3 for 3, guys. Yeah, I guess GameStop is still going to go. It just went to 61, so it does feel like we're going to get down towards that 60 even price. Just to let you guys know, that Friday low was 57.30, so that's going to be a bit of a line in the sand, but I've been doing it all morning long, so I'm going to up on GameStop with my best stock. I'm going to be looking at that 60. It's going to be an in-and-out break, and if I catch it, hopefully we get a quick little scalp trade. Should have held on to the last one, but I'd rather shoot a high percentage than try to hit the home runs on this particular stock. So I'd rather win on every single trade. Yeah, there goes. The bulls are charging right here on Neo. I was going to say Nokia. But Neo, a nice little 57.50 out there, 75, 77. Actually, we always get out early on these stocks. What's up, Beep? Another one from the watch list, guys. Westport Fuels, WPRT, announcing a deal. Aftermarket on Friday. We're coming back up to 13 here. Just had an alert you can see as we broke through 1250. So big time volume went off at 1250 there for this WPRT. Still holding on to 50% for this one. All right, that one's, yeah, these guys are going right now, including some Riot, Mara. They're starting to go right now as Bitcoin trying to get back above that 40,000. WRIOT here. Riot Blockchain continues to try to make some moves. There's that break of 28.50 we talked about. This is a 1 minute range. Watch out, guys. Bitcoin is moving to the high side right now. Yeah, and my eyes are glued to this. Both LAIX, which my stop is at 520. It was an area stop, and now I'm going hard stop up there and seeing if I can get a bit of a reload to that short trade. 5 was such a good level. I'll see if I can't get this one back down to $4 as a target, but I don't want it to go past that 520. Now I'm looking at this WPRT, if only because it failed at 13 even once. And if it's going to do it again, I want to take a short off. It failed in the pre-market. It failed here just a few minutes ago. So risk to reward is about as good as it's going to look for me. See if I can't get into position here. And of course, is it short sell restricted? Which one? Oh, I'm not going to chase it too far, but if I can catch it in the 70s, I will. Or the high 60s, low 70s. Had to pay down to 68 there. If I add to it, I'd rather it be a little closer to that 80 mark, given that 13 is going to be my out. So I just had to chase an extra 5 pennies, which means I have to be a little bit more patient
in terms of where I would like to add to that position. So I'll just throw an offer. If it takes me out and gives me like something in the 80s, I'll be happy with that. I will not let this thing break 13 on me. I'll go with a relatively tight stop here just to make sure we lock in that profit. It's in an upward trend, guys. It's up 47%. I'm bucking this trend, but I just love this sort of tight area into 13 that we can see if we can squeeze a short into. Oh, phrasing.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking right now as well. We just captured out some profits here on NEO. So as it goes, I don't know if we hit this one yet, but this is our new one, the new chicken dinner winner coming through there. I like you got the KFC kind of in the background, a little bit of ass shaking there as well. So congratulations, anybody that got this NEO with us. Bang, we're 3 for 3 today, guys. We just hit Bitcoin. We talked about that as well. That's 2 for 2 on that one. Palantir, we still have the dollar plus winner right now as well. And then coming back to the downside all of a sudden, we did cash out of some of that Twitter there as it goes right back up to VWAP, and now it's crashing back down. So got out nicely up there. So Twitter will be questionable if we'll be positive on it or not. Needs to get back to VWAP. We were back to positive on Twitter when it was back in the 80s, but now it's in the 70s. So we got to get some work to do there on this name. And then NEO, I'm just kind of letting it go, but we just did bounce off 58. So some tough sledding there on NEO if you're looking at that 58 level, guys.
Yeah, and so that WPRT starting to work for me here. Not too crazy. I never got that second entry, but it looks like it's attempting to roll over. It just bounced off of 1260. And of course, I had to chase to 68. So I didn't get the absolute greatest price that I was looking for, unfortunately. But it is trying to roll over at least a little bit here. LAIX, I did get the reload, and it's back below $5. So both those names starting to work out for me here to the short side trade, guys. So it's really just all about having an order of entry. Now, I would have had a bigger position here if I had chased it, but you've got to stick to your rules. My rules will also say if it approaches this 1230 where it bounced off VWAP, I have to take some profit off in front, even if it's only 25 to 30 cents, guys. Brendan?
We were talking about some of the energy names early on this morning, guys. We mentioned XOM. Have a look at this one as well. Oxy, wow, what a move this was. 23, we're approaching 25 here, which is recent highs for OXY, guys.
There's a lot of these names, man. Oxy Petroleum. There's a few other ones there that like to be somewhat bankrupt and then all of a sudden not bankrupt again. So we will watch out for some of those. Oxy Petroleum as well. I don't see. Okay. Shoot. I wish DraftKings could every once in a while hold some of the highs that it has, guys. And I mean, again, like this happens pretty much every day on DraftKings. Like, you know, again, 10 o'clock, bang to the downside today. That was Friday. Today, again, it just starts going down right off the get, right off the jump there, DraftKings to the downside. So, again, I don't know, like, here's Friday's look. Bottoms here, 62, 62.50, $63 there, the bottom on DraftKings. It's down too much today to even worry about this, but I think a 61 break could be something there on DraftKings, guys.
And we'll go with the new and updated winner chicken dinner. There you go. It's a little healthier. I saw a salad in there somewhere. 60 break on GameStop in and out as always. Look, I'm going to hold on to a little bit just in case it goes a little bit further here, but every trade is a scalp trade. I talked about that low, maybe anticipating some support at 57.30. So why not see if we can get like 250 out of it in front of that level? And I mean $2.50 worth of gross in front of that level. Friday's low. So once again, it is a scalp central for me when it comes to GameStop. I mean, it basically hasn't given me a losing trade taking these breakdowns. LAIX, this one I talked about the reload. It holds this breakdown level at 520. So I put in a firm stop once it turned around here. Got a bit of a reload. Now I want to see if I can take some out. This 490, I mean, it had an iceberg here at 468, which I did not get out when it broke this level. It's also trying to hold this 490. It's crazy for me not to try to take some shares out on the way down here. And WPRT also working. So it's a short side trade that's working for me so far. And looking back over at Disney, it just never gave a clean entry. You can be as bullish as you want on something and be looking for the long trade, but if you don't get an entry point, it's just an idea and not an actual trade. So apologies for not finding a way to get into the Disney long despite talking about it 2 or 3 times today.
I like that talk. If you can't find an entry, yeah, that's a good one. I like that saying there, Neil. Okay, yeah, we just made a mistake there. We are waiting for Twitter though to get going. Again, I'm wondering about this bottom 57.30. I think it's worth definitely taking a little bit more right now on this name. So we'll buy it right here. 57.55. You saw that go through right there. 57.57. A quick buy here on Twitter. So we'll look to see if that one's going to come through here or not on that name. So Twitter right here. 57.55 $58.55. We just bought it, and now it's starting to go. Palantir still 50 cents in the money, and NEO still that 13 cents in the money. Okay, what else can we talk about here? Ford, maybe? Today, Ford and GM. Ford comes back down. I think this is a screaming buy at some of these levels. We talked about Ford going through some of the motions here, buying more, spending $29 billion invested here, hopefully in the future for electric vehicles. So 1180, this is a good little level for Ford, I think, to pick up some more. I'd wish it was down at 1080, which is where we'd pick some up. But right now it needs to break 1150, go back over to GM as well. 56.50. I don't know. Okay, I see you here, NEO. NEO does come back down to that 57.40. Now it's starting to go back up. Let's take a little bit more off here on NEO. And by the way, yes, we're back to positive. What a great buy that was on Twitter. You saw me make that live on the show, guys.
Yeah, good look. And that's what it's all about, live. And speaking of live as we speak, big move up here in VXRT. Several breaks to the upside. This one is continuing its push. It's popped on my radar. It's still a little there was one good pop here, but it's still a little orderly, and the volume really still holding up here, up 20% is Vaxart. I'm probably going to look for a top end at some point on this name, but not just yet. Still looking too strong for me. It is already 10:20 and looking for our small cap recap. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's have a look at a few that were moving around in the pre-market this morning. Just mentioned this Veru came in with monster volume here, you can see, and we're off to all-time highs, in fact, for this one. VERU was setting up nicely in the pre-market, looking like it might be first or second, in this case, red day to the downside. It was 2 days, in fact, last week. This thing popped up after positive news. So I couldn't find anything additional. 1350 were these highs from the pre-market. So I had a little tiny piece left after a great short from the pre-market. 1350 down to 12. So out of that, on that huge pop on volume, but heads up on Veru, still very, very volatile. This one as well from last week, AREC was moving around significantly. A couple of levels, 680, 750 to be aware of from Friday's price action. Not really doing anything. If it does get back to 687, we'll revisit that, and then 750, as I mentioned, above that. I want to talk about this OCGN as well. Promised myself last week we'd do a better job at identifying strong stocks and being in the right direction on those. 925. Pretty easy pivot here from the pre-market. Once it got back above that, actually took 2 shots at that one to the long side. So great opportunities all around, guys, in small cap world. Back to you.
Yeah, you could say that again. I mean, look, the opportunities don't stop. Whether or not it's small cap, you could see some of the different stocks. Neil and I have been trading today. NEO, GBTC, TSNP, Twitter, Palantir. So good on us for looking at that. Thanks, Brendan, for just showing you guys the diversity, right? It doesn't really matter what kind of stock you trade. Just make sure you do what you're best at, and you can trade anything. Square up 7% today. I know we've talked about that, Brendan, but that's a big runner there today. Obviously on some of that Bitcoin news as well. Look at Square. I mean, this is embarrassing, man. Like, you brought this to us. I don't even know what. I'm going to say it was like around here somewhere, because you did bring PayPal and Square to our attention. Look at the move that Square's had right now, just straight up. I'm like, why don't we just buy that? Like, look at PayPal, very, very similar. I was cheering it at 277, Brendo, when you brought that to us. Now you're up to 281.50. So lots of stuff happening there. And instead of that, I focus here on Twitter and on NEO. Let's just get out of Twitter. It may just fall back down. Watch out for the futures. It's a profitable stock now, and so is NEO. So let's not turn these things around.
Yeah, be very, very careful here. And I'm really, really glad, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to mention, this Silvergate's been a great stock, and I talked about the double up that it's put in since late last year when we first brought it to your attention, is sort of the crypto bank play, as people like to call it. But take some profit today was the idea. I mean, it was just too frothy. And you do see it pull back like $20 or so, and probably still some room if it does continue that flush. So, and again, sometimes the best trades you make are the ones that you don't. And playing into that momentum in the crypto area would have got you into a world of hurt. Just to come back to one name that has been at least a little bit neglected at times on the show, Virgin Galactic. And this is a big reversal. It just went like a bit of a push. The upside looked like it was going to be bullish, and now trying to make a double bottom here. I mean, trying, so far failing, but 54 has held, at least in the time being. If Virgin breaks 54, downward, there are some levels that we are going to have to watch if it goes any further. Now, it's held 52, 53, 52 in consecutive days. Now let's see if that 53 does hold up. I'll try to be looking for a bottom pick in the afternoon or maybe closer to lunchtime if Virgin does go any further than this. But right now, still trying to hold that 54 double bottom.
Yeah, Virgin Galactic. Yeah, I mean, and again, guys, we do use technical indicators here. It's just a matter of finding the ones that work best for you. We did dump out NEO there. And again, this was just on a pre-market break. So breaking this VWAP. And again, like, it's just about studying different things. Like, you got to be able to be comfortable and look at this. Like, this was a great opportunity here to come and just talk about technicals because Neil just mentioned them there. Like, it comes all the way down, hits that $56. That's also the low there from Friday. Like, you don't even have to use technicals here to be able to see that one going. But there it is. That's that level. Oops. They're just watching here to see what Bitcoin's going to do. Here's GBTC. It looks like it's going to try to break through 50 there, but now bouncing a little bit. So it was trying to get in, but now we'll wait to see the highest here for GBTC up there today. So we'll have to watch on that. But what I was talking about there was NEO and this long. Like, we did have an opportunity to get long there, and then a break of VWAP back to the upside should have been taken, guys. So that was a decent trade there for NEO on the long side, breaking through that VWAP. Just again, another technical indicator that we like to use.
Yes, sir. I love that little VWAP. You'll see it on our charts all the time, but let's continue it. That's a little crazy, but whatever. I guess it gets the point across. A little bit of weakness noted in that WPRT, I should say. Of course, I didn't get the 80s that I would have liked. And I talked about this, having to pay 68s or chase it a little bit further down. I just took some more shares out at VWAP for like a 30-cent win there. I'm going to hang on to the rest, so it's either going to come back up, retest that 13 high. Technically this high is 95. I would have had a 13 stop had it gone up immediately. Now that we've taken profit into VWAP, I always tighten my stop, but that's really just the 12.95. So it's only a 5-cent difference. If we continue to push down, watching for this 12 even level. It got bought on a pullback. It's an even dollar range. It was also bought here in the pre-market on a bit of a dip. So not a bad place to take some profit. I'll go ahead and throw that one out there. It will lock in like a 50 to 60 cent win depending on how close to that price I'm actually able to get. And then I'll look for another trade after the fact if this wants to continue its flush, guys.
All right, so Twitter's still working, guys, and we'll take this out again here if we can get some 77s out. And again, this is just the way we've been doing it. I do this often. We notice, we lost on that, but now we're up, and we're up pretty decent on Twitter. As we've remained bullish on this name, it just keeps defending this 57.50 area on the downside, despite the NASDAQ moving down. So I'm only 10% left on this position, and I think we'll get some out. I just wanted to see if we can see a VWAP again. So we'll put an order back around 57.80 or so, see if we can get out of that. And move to the high side there on Twitter. So 57, let's call it 57.86 or so. What's up, Pete?
One struggling a little bit, guys. We saw a big move to the upside on Friday on Snap. Following earnings, was very strong heading into the weekend. Bit of a pullback here. Just tried to break back above 63 there and failed. Got a volume alert for Snapchat. Still negative territory, though.
Yeah, speaking of negative territory, AMC continues its flush. The relative weakness is huge. And again, I was looking at GameStop. It's going to be my #1 stock, so I can't hate on it too much. But there was clearly probably a better short just in terms of how much liquidity is right there at that 6 even that I'm likely sure that we would have gotten. Either way, playing both at the same time is a bit tricky, so I can't hate on myself too much. But got to file that one away. AMC was relatively weak compared in the pre-market, so it should have probably been the first place that I did go to for that short. We talked about the BlackBerry a little bit here. Still up on the session, but it's giving up the ghost a little bit. And this sort of comes down to it's my negative stock in the day, which is probably the reason it is the reason I didn't go back to it, look for some other names that we had the better read on. But that same level, it tested through 75 once. I got 70 short. It got as low as 66, 67, and then turned right back around. It came and tested, got as low as 66, came right around. When that level finally broke, yeah, that was the floodgates opening up on BlackBerry. So just one of those things that you want to notice from time to time again. Look at those failures on directional trades that you liked, and then maybe when it punches through that level, you finally get that trade. So instead of getting the exact entry that you wanted at 9:30, you're looking at one a little bit later on in the session. Well, what caused this to be wrong, or at least not work out in the short term, ends up being a nice longer-term play a little bit later on. Now you're sitting in what would be a solid winner. I can't hate too much, of course. It's the only stock that I'm down on. So far, I'll knock on some wood for that.
Don't say
I
that.
just jinxed it, so what
Yeah,
I mean.
still early. So we are looking here. We did get a beautiful out there on NEO. You guys can see that trade right there coming through. So really happy with the way that turned out. Just got some 71s and now we're out. So we are completely flat here on NIO. So you can see that's been a pretty good trade for me and really happy to make that for you guys there on NEO. We did talk about it. You guys like some of these high flying plays. So there's another one taken out on NEO through 57.50. And we were very, very patient. We did talk about why or how we missed that one. And again, that's just what Neil and I do, man. Like, we're trying to be honest with you. We're not going to have every single trade, but we are going to try to have the good ones. And then why they're good, right? That's the other thing that we're trying to also develop here with you guys is that, what makes that trade something that we want to take, And for me, there on NEO, it was this break of the high of the day. So if you're just joining us again, I'm sorry about always talking about the same stuff there, but it is very, very important that we stick to some of our rules, and including Twitter. We just got out right there. Like, there's another rule, guys. So we'll do. I don't know what we'll do today. We'll do walking a little bit. We feel that this was, again, defending this. It comes back up to VWAP. And I mean, look where we get out. It's right at the top side there. So a nice little out on VWAP once again. So you sort of got to, use it. You don't see me using too many indicators. I like volume down here, and then I like VWAP. Other than that, we just play off candlesticks, and that takes a lot of time to learn how to read those.
And I like to always monitor a halt page here, Sean. It's NASDAQ. If you look at NASDAQ trade halts, NASDAQtrader.com, trade halts, I like to see what is popping off here. And the second time, maybe even, it looks like it was more than once, but the second time recently, NMRD just halted. This one to the downside. It's a parabolic mover today, still up 60%. Brendan?
Just double checking on that one. And there's also this WATT, W-A-T-T, 23% here, guys. Huge volume just coming into this thing through day highs as well. So going to check on both of those coming up here. It is 10:30, guys. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you take a second and hit the like button, please. The only thing we ask of you, it's just a little thing. Hit the like button, especially if you're joining us for the first time, guys. The more likes we get, the more we can spread the show and get it out to as many people as we possibly can. 10:30, that means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Miss V is watching what's going on over in Europe. Let's go check in with Valeria.
Hey, Brendan, European shares are in positive territory on hopes of quicker recovery. Dialog Semiconductor trading in Germany is up 17% after Renesas Electronics agreed to buy it for 5 billion euros in cash. Back to you.
M&A activity, guys, in the semiconductor group. We've seen both AMD and NVIDIA very strong today.
I like. Lots of good deals. And the reason we say we like is because, again, AMD's been a big position for me, and it's been needed to go. So we talked about that a little bit there. I know Brendan and I talked about this name and picking some up. Come on, chart. On the low side there, AMD, big mover up today, just that 2%, but should have looked at this earlier because we knew some of this news. And here's those bottoms, man, 86, 85, up to 89. AMD on its way to 92 right now.
And I've basically only been short GameStop so far this morning, but I just wanted to point out a little something to you guys, and it's going to be, it's around 62, so that's the number I'm going to use. But you look at this consolidation bottom, 61.70 or so. It's holding 58 on the low side. It's going to be hard not to take a momentum break through the top, and I'm going to use the even just because that's what I've been doing. Certainly, you could look at something like a 61.65 for a breakout style trade on GameStop, but I'm putting this one in here at 62. If it breaks through this level and fails to go, like it only goes 20 or 30 cents, then I won't be triggered in. But if it goes and follows through to 62, you're going to see me long for the first time this session on GameStop. So that's a 62 break. We're $1.50 away from it and possibly retesting the low, so it's no guarantee. It has to actually push up for me to get that fill, which is kind of the way that I like it. I'd rather play in the momentum as opposed to fighting the stock. I just wanted to check quickly back in on Hasbro. Still struggling to hold a bit of a bottom, guys. So if I do actually see an actionable trade here, the volume is terrible. So it might not even be worth it for a day trade. I wanted to see it test that 50 period, which it has, but there's not much of a day trade down in here, it looks like so far. So a little bit disappointing here for Hasbro.
Yeah, we talked about Hasbro, and I hit that poo emoji early. Might have been a little too early on that, but yeah, I didn't like it, and again, it didn't really profile good enough for me on the volume side of things. So that's Hasbro today. Twitter looks like it's good. Oh man, like again, these charts. I got to talk to the IT department today, again, because the charts don't seem to be working too great today. Look, I think this is another opportunity to get longer again. So I think we can do this Twitter trade just one more time, giving us a nice opportunity. Oh, there we go, buying some 53s. Let's see on the downside where this goes to now, if we can get out. But there we go, we just put a big trade on, buying some 53s. Let's see if it can run back up to VWAP. That would be a great trade if that can happen, but I'm not sure. So long at 52s right now. Let's take a little bit off at 60 if we can. There it is, 62, 63. So again, you see me put that trade in and instantly in the money now. So a nice little one right here. So we'll do some airplane drops right now as we just took that trade. And look what's happening, guys. A big time movement to the high side. There it goes. Topping off our day, guys. Nice little moves. All we've been doing is buying Twitter down here 57.50 like a glove.
And just a quick look. I mean, I can't find any news here, and I'm glad you got that winner there, Sean. Because I'm basically just sitting in a couple of solid shorts here, looking for the next trade. I thought it was going to be this NMRD, but it remains halted. It's now been 6 minutes, so this might be a 10-minute volatility halt. I swear I double-checked that one to make sure that it was. Yeah, it is limit up, limit down. So volatility halt. I don't see any news on the stock. Brendan also reiterating to me that he doesn't see anything in particular, which would lend itself to a bit of a short trade here if we can catch it, but that'll have to wait until it opens up, I guess, in a few minutes, so 4 minutes. GameStop is head to the upside. It's a 62 break. It can break that 61, 65, all it likes. I wanted to break 62 before I'm going along in GameStop.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Okay, so space is up and away here as we continue to go. So, but right now, we just talked about getting a few more likes, guys. 3,000, we need to get a little bit more there, Valeria, as you know, so we'll try to work on that. 3,000 likes, 10,000, 11,000 watching, guys. If you haven't turned that around, please do so. Let's see, I mean, I don't know if it's selfish or not, but I think we'd like to get to, let's just say 5,000 every day. I think that makes sense. We do the show for free, showing you live level 2s. And there's a great trade again on Twitter. We'll probably tweet that out. I'll put my handles up. Valeria's been putting them up as well, Instagram and Twitter, to get at us if there's any questions you need or anything like that. Square still 7+%. Oh, okay. I see Mr. Softy maybe making a move here. We tweeted that out this morning as well to say, watch out for the high side. But wow, am I dead wrong on that. Doesn't really do anything. It tried to get back going, but since then has stopped. But what's not stopping right now is up and away. Hopefully Twitter will continue to go here, and we'll be able to get some out. I just saw it in the 70s, but there we go. Take some more out in the 60s. I'm going to put an order up here on VWAP. This has been a big trade for us today. Twitter, Palantir, we're still holding on to that, but again, we have 5% of this left, bouncing around near the bottoms. Big day for us on Palantir today.
Yeah, and the break on GameStop, it's going to give me the first look to get out in front of in 62 and $1, but the second half of the trade here just resisting. So I guess it's even weaker than I thought here. I thought this kind of consolidation would give you a break, maybe back into VWAP to take that top out. And I don't want to necessarily be holding on to any of these trades too long. That was going to be my plan. So I'm not going to give it past like that 61. If it breaks it, I'll just get out. If it gives me another shot to be able to hold this, I'm only giving it that $1. And again, it's really just the style that I'm trying to put on here in terms of scalping these trades. That can either mean relatively tight stops, or it can, it can mean just in and out rather quickly. So I think both those things could fit the bill. I'm just a little bit surprised. I thought it was coiled up a little bit, looking for that break. When it got to 63 here, I mean, all signs were good that it looked like it was going to have a bit of a breakout, and then I saw an offer step in. I was able to get some out, of course, but hanging on to the rest. If it breaks off 61, or bounces off 61, of course it'll be a nice winner. But wanted to come back over to that LAIX, just update you guys. It's now starting to push back towards that 470 low. I was able to get some shares out at 480, so quick little scalp there from that top at 513 for another 25 cents or so. Like I said, I'll probably be in this stock maybe even all day long for the short side trade, letting it just sort of crap all over itself. Brennan?
Market kind of struggling here at around this 3,900. Arun was talking about 3,900 this morning, going to be important. This one, guys, big moves again last week. Fubo TV down this morning, kind of coming back up to a significant level here with the overall market. So Fubo looking weaker than the rest so far, guys.
Fubo. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm surprised I don't trade that stock a little more often than I do, because Fubo's been a good stock for us off that first couple moves there, and we've sort of left it alone, which I'm not really sure why. It's moving around every day. They got that deal with Roku as well, so Fubo TV still looking to make a little bit of money there on that name. I mean, this is a great little look here. I think we'll take this, man. 47.50 break here on Fubo, looking pretty good. We're 50 cents away, but I do think that that's a decent break, and you should probably have that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good-looking one. I'll sort of, well, not double down, but take another look. The 47.50, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the 50 break obviously is going to be one that stands out. I mean, halfway between the current low, which is 45.30, and that 50 is going to be that 47.5 on the pullback here. To the downside, it did resist that level once. If it holds VWAP, it looks like a decent breakout style trade. There goes GameStop 261, so I'll take my first hit on that one of the day. We'll go poo-poo here, knocking the poo-poo out. But either way, I mean, it's been all shorts that have won. The long is basically 50-50. I win in the first half and lose on the second half, so it's really not a hit. I'm going to look at that 47.50 on Fubo. I just like that level. Not as much as 50, obviously, for a break, but intraday, midday, it's not a horrible time to play a reversal on momentum if it can get there and break, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm just tweeting this out right here, guys, because if you wanted to follow us on Twitter, we're here. You can go to the profile here, and I'll just show you guys quickly. At Trader TV Sean, there's a lot of like fake profiles, so make sure you're at the right one. 13,000 followers. Look, I just want to show everyone this. This is the Twitter, right? Defending these bottoms, and I mean, we got out there. We talked about that out. We didn't get out of everything, but then when we noticed that it stopped and just kept reversing back to the upside, that's why we went hella long. We've defended it 3 times, and just out there on VWAP. So really proud of the way that one panned out. And look at this VWAP trade, guys. Right back, and now we're light. We're almost flat on Twitter. The money just keeps coming in on that name, guys. But right now, happening now, I like that there's all the blue on the screen, guys. Blue equals green. Let's go, Brendo.
Hey guys, yeah, nicely positive still. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 here. We'll talk about what is leading so far. We are 0.5% in positive territory to this point this morning. You can see front and center here, energy stocks, the big winners so far today, along with move in crude oil. So yeah, Oxy 11% now in positive territory. MRO, Marathon 8.5%, Apache's here 6% as well. There's Devon just 3.5%. But this entire group, we talked about XOM there in the pre-market, showing relative strength versus the overall market in the pre-market. Oil higher. Was a decent opportunity and a decent idea going into the open so far. Consumer discretionary stocks, some weakness coming back into some of the casinos here. LVS 2.4%. There's Yum as well, 1.8%, but that's Win right beside it there. You can't see the symbol, but trust me when I say it's Win. MGM as well, bucking the trend to the upside. Here's PayPal, 3.8% in the tech sector. Software makers nicely higher here. DXC offsetting some of that though. Look at the semiconductors, the entire group in positive territory, 1.8% all the way up to about 3.5% here for semiconductors. The airlines I mentioned as well, all of them very much higher. Alaska leading the way there, 4.3%. Delta we talked about, 4.3%. Love, AAL, and UAL all here as well. Even FedEx having a nice day, 1% to the upside. So if you're looking for strength, tech stocks, energy shares to the downside, consumer discretionary, and some of the healthcare group also a little bit weak. CAH with news. 3.3% in negative territory. Guys, back to you.
And just to come back to TTOO, we did mention T2 Biosystems as possibly rolling over off that high of day. It didn't quite get the entry that I would have liked, a little closer to that 375, but it is still showing a little bit of weakness here at this 360 area. So, I mean, it's held VWAP at least for now. But I kind of want to get into this one before any bigger retracement happens. So you're gonna see me likely get into this between like 60 and 65 with a tight stop, and then if it tests and I can get that 75 entry another time, it'll likely end up having to be a separate trade. I still like a chance for it to get the VWAP. Remember, this is a counter trend. So I have to play this with at least a little bit of caution, knowing that we're against still an upward trend here. That's why the tight stop on TTOO.
Okay, we did get a little bit long into Ether here, so we will watch that, ETHE, which is the Bitcoin ECN, Ether ECN. So we'll watch that to see if that's going upside there as well. That's another name that we're in as well. AMD, we did talk a little bit about that one. Let's go back over to Palantir. We're still at 35 cents in the money, but it's not really, it's not profiling out so good here, to be honest with you. Palantir, it's kind of stopped. I was looking for another VWAP move. I'm debating right now 37.80. We talked about going long. I like the long through VWAP, but it has died a little bit here. Not really sure why it's fallen down here a little bit, but Palantir just trying to get some wings, and I think it looks a lot like Twitter. If you are bullish on Palantir, this 37.35, you can take it until it holds 37. I think that'd be a decent move on Palantir there. Hold until 37, but for me right now, 70 cents higher. I'd like to see it dip down into the 25s quarter area. If we can get that on Palantir, we'll take it.
Yeah, and just going to go back to that Veru, whatever. I mean, I did get into that, I did get in and out rather quick of that TTOO, so I'll look for that 375 area if it wants to give it to me. But this Veru is looking, at least for now, a little bit relatively weak compared to that, which for me is going to be a 14 break entry. Now, I'd love to see it test this 1380 level as well. So in the event that it does break through that 14, probably better to give it to that 1380 technically on a break. This has had a $4 range, at least bottom to top. So kind of treat it with that level of respect. This is not something that you're going to be scalping for like a 20 or 30 cent win. Now, that's why giving an extra 20 cents on a break of 14 makes some sense. And I just like those halt prices for future reference. If it gets down below that 14, I'll be looking for that 1380 break. I would certainly give it more room than 20 pennies if you're short at 13.75, let's say I'm able to get. I'll give it more than just 20 pennies for now, maybe closer to that 14.20. But this looks a little weaker, at least in the short term, than TTOO, which I just saw get through. Only a 5-cent hit because I want to make sure I had that tight stop, guys.
Yep, exactly. And that's what we're talking about here, tight stops. There's Palantir still going, or still not going. Twitter is the one that's going. We have a little bit left here, but we are looking at this 57.82 spot. I am looking at a break to the high side, especially if this gets going, guys. VISL being talked about here on the chat a little bit, so we can go over to that. Thank you for that. 519. Hey, 519 hockey cards. Is this, where are you? Here you are, here. 519 hockey cards. Which part, is that what area code you're in? Because what's up to the 519? I have a lot of family over there, so what's up to that? Shout out to you guys there. VISL still moving. DraftKings short below 91, Yuri. Okay, let's have a quick look at DraftKings, or sorry, 91.61 coming on DraftKings. So a quick little double check on this one, 61.20, 61.17. Oh man, Oh, that's still VIS. Come on, let's go DraftKings. Yeah, it was the same chart. 60.90 to the downside. I don't know. You know what? I think we might have found a bottom here on DraftKings. What is this right here? 50. I kind of like this break a little bit before VWAP. You have some consolidation down here. I think this is worth it. 61.30. Let's go long 61.30 DraftKings, guys.
Yeah, good look at DraftKings. I want to check in on the score in a second there, the score. But the LAIX, and I've been sitting in this short all morning long. Of course, I mean, every entry's been pretty solid. We got the consolidation off the 5 break. It then popped up to VWAP. We got this short in here at 513. It's right back to this 465 low. So you get like a 10% move from that little top. Of course, I take some more profit out because I always will. If this now breaks 65, I'm going to be, normally I'd be sitting here thinking, okay, let's take a little more profit out, hang on to this all day. Nah, we're going to go adding to this position on a break. So first things first, I'm going to cancel the bid that I have in front of 50s because clearly 65 is this now double bottom. If it breaks that, I'm adding, not subtracting to the position on momentum. And then 409 was yesterday, so Friday's close. I would say yesterday. Friday's close, if it gets there, that's as good as profit-taking price as any. I want to come back to that NMRD. It did reopen to the downside, so this one looks like it's continuing to retrace here, guys. It was a 10-minute halt. Now looks like 11 is a bit of resistance on NMRD, but the volume really starting to taper off now. Brendan?
Just checking on Cloudflare, guys, looks like the 11th, February 11th is going to be earnings for this one. Net in New York up 7%, just broke through 91 there, trying to test recent highs here on volume as well for Cloudflare.
Cloudflare. Okay, we just got that DraftKings position, so hopefully this works out for us today, and we don't have to blame you guys for bringing it to my attention. But I like this stock. 61.30 to the high side there. I think it breaks. We have talked about that a little bit. You do have some bottoms. I'm going to use this very bottom as the out. I've done that before. It hasn't worked out great for me, like I said, DraftKings. So just be very, very careful. A lot of the time they hunt out stops, so I could get hunted there. But I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm willing to take that risk. So let's wait to see if DraftKings does do that here to the downside. What did we just, I just got it out. There you go. So there it is. DraftKings breaks and out. I was like, oh my God, was that a bad trigger? But no, right to the downside. I don't know if that was news or what, but there goes DraftKings. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet. We got a new one here, Neil. Here's the flush. Yeah, there it is. A little bit better. A little bit of ooh, watch out for that.
That's a little nasty.
There. That's a little nasty there on the splash. Okay, I don't know why DraftKings just dropped out there. Almost feels like there was news, like one of the biggest candles of the day just happens in that 1 minute down to 61.
Yeah, and from the stock going down to one that might be headed back to the north side. Now watch out, Ocugen. Remember that last short that I had? Wow, that was a solid out getting in front of that 1050. It just bounced off VWAP, but this high, remember the halt price? Right in that 1240, low 1240 range. Call it 1250, this current high. If it breaks that, You could have round 2 in Occugen, so I'll be going long through 1250. And obviously this little 1050 bottom gets below that price. It might be one of those situations where I'm shorting it for the rest of the day, but for now, looks relatively strong. I'm taking a 1250 break clean here if it does come to the upside. Just watching GameStop round back up. It's making another test through 62. Remember that stalled out at 63 even? Call me stubborn. Well, yeah, you can probably call me stubborn. My wife does at times. 63 and the GameStop, not GM. There we go. GameStop, and of course my chart is freezing, so I'll just quickly flip to the 15 minutes so you guys can see it here. If it breaks that 63, I'm looking to see if we can get a push finally through VWAP. This is my last execution on the long. It could not break out. I got my 62 long out in front of 63. If 63 goes, I'm going to try to do the same thing into 65 and then see if it can be a hold after that.
Yep, and more yep, and including yep with Twitter. We turned bullish on Twitter all day today, man. Buy. And it just continues to get added up, man. Another 50-cent win right now. We talked about it going to VWAP. It went there, it bounced around, I held it, and then we get out basically at the high of the day there. I mean, the high of the day is up here, but off this move, it breaks to the downside. We defend that 58.50 level, so now I can go over there and cancel. And I said on Friday or Thursday or some point last week, if I ever trade DraftKings on the show for someone to do something to me. So right now, I'm going to basically, oh, we already used that. I'm going to say the WTF. I got to stay away. We talked about DraftKings, and I mean, I'm long in the 30s on this name, but that doesn't matter. Like $64, it should have held that, in my opinion, if it was stronger. I don't need that Twitter page up. Follow us all on Twitter and on Instagram as well. But here we go. Where's the DraftKings daily chart? So this is what I'm talking about. It just, like, this is why I was bullish today, because we are trying to break out. I thought there was a chance. I mean, that breakout, I think it might have been all-time highs today, guys. 64.75 or so. That could have 64.93, yeah. So I think we did go to all-time highs on DraftKings, but look at that pullback. Just a nasty one. Maybe it has something to do with what Mark Roberts said about some of the vaccines possibly not protecting against multiple different outbreaks, like the different amputations of the virus. Wow, Palantir. Palantir just goes the upside right now. I think we got ticked out here on a stop order, Neil. So that like it never went down to 37, but we were playing a 37.40 or so breakdown there. So that got us out. But Palantir, there it goes, ripping to the high side. We should still be long, but I got a little error there on a stop out. So Palantir now making moves. Congratulations, guys, 11.5%.
Yeah, insane. Look, I mean, it's going to be almost the same story as last time in GameStop. It breaks at 63. This time, it only goes halfway. So forget about the dollar. It basically only gives you the scalp trade to 50 cents. So same thing as before. I get a little bit more out because it just seemed, like I said, weak. But it's still trying to hold this level. So I still see some reason to hang on to it to see if we can get to that 65. It's not as strong of a break, but it is still kind of bouncing in this slight upward trend, guys. So I'm going to hang on to the last little bit of this GameStop. We'll give it back to like the 62 area stop just to see what happens. But, you know, we're sort of playing with some house money here. And if it coils up, there is a chance that it finally gets that 65 target on these longs. But I'm getting tired of taking a small scalp win for half and then nothing on the rest. Time for Money Talks. Of course, crypto was moving around. Let's get to Brendan at the big screen for an update.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look at, I mean, the big story obviously going to be this one here, Bitcoin. Yeah, 15.5% on the day so far, 43707 currently. If we go over to a daily chart here, you can see the all-time high, 44868 and change for Bitcoin. So a huge move today, 15%, kind of dragging these two along with it. Only 1.5% for Ethereum. Ripple actually just went positive, was actually negative early on this morning, back to 44.5 cents-ish. The euro positive just. We're seeing the Canadian dollar also pretty muted on the day, to be honest. All of these really back and forth throughout the morning session as far as positive to negative. Australia and New Zealand, the only ones really making decent moves. Turkish lira there as well, 0.6%. Everything else, though, pretty flat so far. Japanese yen down on the session. Volatility coming off again. Typical when we see equity markets at all-time highs. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Brennan. Out of the second half of GameStop, just can't get that to continue any moves. I got to note the relative weakness that it's putting in there for any of those long trades. But like I said on that LAIX, added on the break of this 465, and it was technically like 466, which was the low, but 465 broke. Instead of taking shares off, I added to the position here. So my average price works out to 77. Given all the profit taking, we're taking on the 13 short. Also, we had a 490 short earlier. 450 does loom. Sort of halfway from where we got it on the reload towards yesterday's close price. I'll take some shares out there and then just get some bids all the way down. And 409 previous close, and for those of you that haven't been watching, LAIX on basically nothing we could find anyways, was a huge gap and run on Friday. It stalled out right up here at 1150 top. It just absolutely died all afternoon long. I was sort of trading this to the south side. When it finally broke this, or sort of rebroke that morning low, that's when things got ugly again at 640. So when it broke this level, right here in the pre-market at 7 o'clock, I was saying to myself, okay, the next breakdown short, I'll take it. Of course, I didn't take the short here, which I should have. Waited around for the next breakdown, which ended up being at about $5, which is the price that we've been shorting essentially all morning long. And now it's about 10% in the money. Going to start taking profit off once again. Just got another fill, so let's hit all the new animations today.
Yeah.
This plane is just crashing and then flowing the money out of there. I don't know what is.
Like, is that?
I don't want to be crashing in a plane. That's
yeah. Like, did you make a
bad,
good
right?
trade because you crashed and almost
Like
died
drop
there?
it.
I don't really know. But good animation. Like, we requested new animations, and thank you to Rob Lucas. I think it was Rob pretty much doing them. I mean, I like all of the new animations. You guys can let us know what the favorite ones are. But for me, I kind of like this one. It reminds me of, what was that, Neil? You know, because you know everything about these random things. The guy on Seinfeld, that was the king or something. What was his name? Mattress guy?
Oh, goodness.
We'll find out, but hopefully you guys can know that one. I am the Wiz. The Wiz, I think it was. He was the Wiz.
Yes.
It was a wizard. It wasn't the king.
It wasn't the king.
The Wiz. So there it is. That's kind of what I think I look like there. I don't know on that one, but it's scary to think that, but that's what it looks like to me. That's the Wiz there. And yeah, I don't know if we're a Wiz or not, but I like this one too. Walking on water right now for me anyways with Twitter. You can see right to the upside there. It's a little psychedelic action. Thank you to Rob for that one. Maybe he's looking at some mind med. We'll have to look at that in a minute, but a nice little move upside on Twitter. We're still long this one. So hells to the yeah, we get bullish on Twitter.
Yes, sir. Gotta love that. Gotta love that Twitter play. I mean, and again, it's sort of coming to names. It doesn't have to be on the watch list. It doesn't have to be a tremendous amount of news. You just got to find those actionable trades that are going to work out for you. I wanted to just, if I could, we talked a little bit about DraftKings. I wanted to come back to the score. It's a bit of a sleepy trade. However, I will say this: anytime you get gaps like this and runs and you get consolidation in basically a tight range holding up to those highs, like if this stock doesn't break down 425 at any point today, that's definitely going to be a bit of a bullish note for it on the rest of the week. Oh, Alfred Omega, thank you for the super chat. I swear, I mean, it's like I just noted SENS because it's on my quote board. I don't know if it's a really huge coincidence because I was looking at the score. SENS is right there, and then you put super chat in thinking it's going to $5, eh? Well, first things first, I just want to put up the daily chart here because I was watching this one off of this 390 previous high that it made back in late January anyways. So look, if it cannot test that, it's got to break that if you think it's going to that $5 range. And given it's gapping into that same price, I hate to say it, failed once up there. If this thing comes up and does not break through in the afternoon, I'll probably be shorting off of it. All that said, this is setting up for one of those sort of power hour breakout style trades. Anytime you can get a test and it's a break of either this level, which is 382, that's current high, but probably more importantly, you're looking for this break in the afternoon, that 390 break or even $4. I think those are better plays than the 380. The 380 break could happen and then fail at 390 or fail at $4, and you're getting absolutely crushed if it comes back down. So why not wait for it to break 4? The fact that it's holding VWAP here and consolidating is a solid sign for it. If it breaks that to the downside, if it holds that to the downside, this consolidation breaks and 350 goes, I would throw those trades out the window. It's probably a sell for the afternoon. But this is like that tipping point. I wouldn't touch it in the middle. while it's basically standing here on VWAP, bouncing up and down. That's not a good trade, not at this time of day. I want to see it break out of this range, guys.
Yeah, definitely starting to go a little bit there as well. As Bitcoin's starting to go here too as well, guys. You can see here, it's starting to go through 44,000. What's up, Brandon?
Another little one to have a look at. Yeah, Bitcoin just amazing today so far. Life here on the NASDAQ, a little pharma company, 46%, just popping up on volume as well. Back to $8 here. We got as high as 8.30 early on this morning. That wick on the daily chart, $8. So yeah, it's holding above recent highs here for Life on positive data, guys.
Life, and like you said, at 44 on GBTC, and then 40, is it 4,400 still? We're still above it. We're testing those highs, guys. That could be a heck of a breakout here. I have GBTC up because that's what we can actually actionably trade here live for you guys, and it's basically breaking a double top as we speak. So this could get rather spicy to that upside. That GameStop is getting a little frustrating. I'm going to stop playing those breakout longs and maybe start looking for shorts again, because that was the play that actually worked for me in the past, guys.
Exactly, and stay what's working with you guys. Like, you know, if you're not trading Bitcoin, you're not used to it, you know, don't. Like, here's GBTC. I'm long here, but it looks like it wants to break or fail through this $44 mark. So again, it doesn't, we already talked about this, it doesn't necessarily follow the actual coin there. So it tries, but we went through 44 there and I only got out 44.04, so it's not doing anything. So not mistake on that, but you know, more money to be had on other names right now, not GBTC. I don't know if this is diamond hands or not, but was definitely not expecting this kind of a win here on this name, and that is Twitter, up now 80 cents. So like I said there, hands or not, this name all the way to the upside. We talked about defending it. It's up that 2.5%, a little bit of love there for Twitter back upside right now as that continues to make moves high side as we go. And it looks like that was a fail there. If you could see on GBTC, it was a fail there at $44. I tried to go short, but I didn't. That was actually me getting out of this long. Thank God I was able to get out, as now we're just crashing to the downside, GBTC.
Yeah, and look, I am still watching that TTO, so thank you guys for pointing it out. It's very, very similar to that SENS, and another super chat, Gary, talking about SENS. We just went over that one. Look, and again, the top break here, double top 377 on TTOO, but you're then, of course, running back into Friday highs. This is 388, and then you got the even $4 break. So, I mean, for a scalp trade, take 5-10 cents into that. You're going to get in and out quickly. Fair enough. But if you're not fading into this one long and in the money already, it is a bit of a dangerous sort of breakout style trade, because it can still fail off this high and then slam back down on you, especially when it's already put in such a strong move on the session. So it's one thing if you're long at 320, 325, or if you're long this consolidation at 360, trying to catch this right into that 388, but taking this break at the high of the day, not my cup of tea. I'd like to see it actually break Friday's high, or better yet, that $4 before I would go into a long, and then I would still be looking for that opportunity to short it off those levels if it happens to fail, guys. So both these are strong stocks, whether it's TTOO or whether it's SENS. Just a little bit of an idea what I'm looking at. But wow, I can't believe we haven't hit this one. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is happening? Just to remind everybody, yes, every single one of our members gets to take part in our Q&A. It's coming up. We'll take a little bit of a coffee break and maybe go to the bathroom, whatever, and come right back to you guys. So call it 11:35, maybe a minute or two after that. We will have that link for you. Valeria's got it. We want everybody that is a member to be able to get in and ask us anything you want. Get those questions ready. Arun will be joining us, so if you have any questions about his style of trading in the futures, make sure you throw them in there. It should be a good one. We have a lot of fun with it, and we try to get to as many questions as we can. So get those ones locked and loaded. Of course, the earlier you get your question in, the better chance it has of being answered. It's still trying that breakout there through the top, so it's not failed yet there, Sean, on GBTC or Bitcoin in general. But it's 11 o'clock. That means time for our European update.
Hey guys, European shares are in positive territory at this hour. Britain is up 0.78%. Russia is up 1.57%. Italy is up 1.7%. And France is up 0.79%. Veolia trading in Paris is down 0.79% after French court blocked any hostile takeover of its smaller rival SUI. Back to the traders.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. Some European news there is getting ready to close. Yeah, Neil, you're right. Bitcoin and GBTC not doing much, so I don't think it's worth trading that. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people trading it today and doing quite well, but not your boy right now. But Riot here, there's that top takeout. We talked about Riot, how much we love that stock, especially on that share offering. I was unable to buy some up, but that didn't make any. It was down here 18, 19, and look at this. It took out that high 28, and you've been rewarded ever since, man, as Bitcoin looking to still go, Neil. Wow.
Yeah, and look, TTOO does make a bit of a turnaround at that top. And I said, look, it's probably going to be more of a short for me until it takes out either that 88, that Friday high, or that 4 even. So you're going to see me dip in. I got 70s here. I'll give it about to 80, so only like 10 cents worth of risk. I mean, if it gets to VWAP, you're looking at almost 2 to 1 on that ratio. So I like it. It is in the midst of a turnaround. If I could have gotten 74, 75, I'd be much happier with that, and maybe I chased it a bit. But if you don't get the price you like initially, maybe take a few less shares so that you can get the reload if it gives me 74, 75. And Dan McIsaac, thank you all, every one of you guys that's joining up here from membership, so you can hopefully participate in that Q&A. Dan McIsaac asked for it. I have zero clue where we are for likes, so I might be sort of setting myself up. We will end the show, and I'll drop and give you 10 if we get to 4,000 likes. And Dan, if we are literally sitting like within like a spitting distance of that, when you throw that in, then pie in my face. But you issue a challenge, I'll go for it. I like doing push-ups anyways. But Miss V, maybe you can let me know where we're at and whether I just sort of shot myself in the foot doing some calisthenics at the end of the show.
Well, Neil, get ready because we're just 300 likes away from 4,000.
That ain't right.
4,000.
That's not Dan, come on, man.
That's good. No?
I don't know. He set me up and I fell for it. I could have easily checked to see, but we're going to get to 4,000, so thank you guys so much. Now I got to give you 10 push-ups. We'll go ahead and do that. I'll see if I can get more shares up at 74, 75 on TTOO to make it a better position here, risk reward anyways. And let's go to Brendan, I think.
Not seeing anything at first glance, guys, on this one, but SPI Energy, one of those clean energy names just popping up on decent volume here, just blasted through 12 there on a volume spike, almost 10% for SPI on the NASDAQ.
Oh, man, and mistakes. I mean, I'm not long anything here, but there it goes right now. GBTC. Damn it. Okay, there's the daily chart. Still trying to get to that all-time high of GBTC, but there it is, man. We tried it at 44 breaks. Now we're at 44.10, printing 44.12. So missed opportunity on GBTC there. The only negative stock we have today is this one, and it's DraftKings. One trade there, but everything else, man, GBTC is positive. We had some good trades early, and that now it should be long and not. So stupid me. Neo, good trading, guys, for sure. But yeah, look at this. We had this trade. Diamond hands, not on this guy today. Palantir as well. Again, good trade on Palantir all the way to the high side. Does break. That's a keystroke error, but we were got out at VWAP anyways. And then Twitter, what a big trade this has been today. Up to 58.40. We'll look at that one as well, guys. Big time alert.
Oh, that's double topping as well. So that could be a nice little interesting trade there, guys. And not quite at, I'm going to wait at the actual price that I want here. I'm going to try and get 74s in that TTO, just so you guys know. That actually rhymed. SENS is the other name that I am monitoring. Sens. This is a little bit weaker. It's not actually at that high, but it's a very, very similar setup. If it gets to that top, it's still doing absolutely nothing. And it would have to break out of this range to touch that trade. However, if it did, it's basically the same thing that I'm currently doing in TTOO that I would try playing off the top. And it's certainly got multiple levels past that current high of day, which is why I would like it to work that trade to the short side. Still continuing that breakout. It's not even that big of a break on GBTC, but I'm looking out of the corner of my eye here, Sean, just to see if it continues it. Do want to come back over to Virgin Galactic. We did mention this name when it initially flushed. If it broke 54, I'd be looking for another bottom here, a couple of dollars lower. That hasn't happened. It looks like it's on the March backside. I'm not going to chase this. That's actually burned me in the past. Get the price that I want on Virgin Galactic, or don't make the trade at all is going to be the name of the game. TTO starting to work in the money for me, but not going too far yet. Need to go down to VWAP or closer to it to start taking profit there.
Like that VWAP. Okay, we'll wait. Oh, thank you again. Normally I try to shout this out, but we've got a whole bunch of members. Thank you, Michael Rosas there. Olufemi, thank you, Olufemi, as well. Common basic things. Yeah, those are some of the best things in the world. The common ones. Robert Mendez, what's up as well. So I know we probably missed you guys for that. But yeah, we've left out Tilray, Afria today. APHA, I just saw someone talk about this name and Tilray. So yeah, Weed Batman today, not really in the building, but yeah, look at this response that some of these weed names have had today. Big time. They're on fire. They're smoking right now to keep going. Afria up that 9%. Check out on CGC, the one that I like as well. And yeah, that's still up that 3%. So Afria and CGC, although I did, and again, a little bit here, I don't have a problem talking about my positions. I did get out, I did get out of some of this one, 21 or change on Friday. And was it? Yeah, it was right around here. I even said, I think I turned to Brendan and said, I just dumped some Afria right around here, 21.80. I thought it was 21.80, but maybe it was 21.30 down here at the close. But now today, wow, another big mover, guys, 23.40 on Afria. Congratulations to everyone smoking these names because they're straight to the upside. Grow Generation Brands, Afria, True Leave, we can check out on that one. This is another name that I've held for a very long time. I apologize. Here in Canada, it's easy for us to get on the CN. Okay, so they're a little bit down. So some of these names not doing so well. It looks like it's the growers and whatnot, the Tilrays, Afria, CGC. That's why I like CGC. Very, very diversified weed play, guys.
And we see you guys. Thank you for the super chat, but I do see Sava. I mean, a couple of people were mentioning it. This was not a very clean break through the high of the day. If you took it, you probably got burned. This stock is it's not the first time it's gone parabolic. For anyone that has not been watching Cassava Sciences, it's actually given back almost 50%. Even from here, this is a 50% retracement from the highs at 125. So this is sort of, I can't call it I can't call it a dead cat bounce when this is a $5 stock that went to 125, guys. But either way, if it comes back up to Friday's top, which is like a 68, it gets pretty interesting to me at that particular price. It's not to say that this is an obvious breakout through 68. It's certainly an obvious candidate for a rollover and then maybe a parabolic move through that 68. So that's the level I'll be watching on Cassava Sciences. I mean, if you're long already, congratulations to you. I look for those key sort of make it or break it points on the stock, especially for those afternoon type trades. Only 5 cents in the money on TTOO, so another 3 or 4 will start taking profit on that particular name. But I wanted to update you guys on WPRT. If this breaks 1225, now I've been short this name for a while here at 1268, but if this breaks 1225, I'm adding to position, consolidating lower. It looks like it might break out for a bit of a wedge, but if this fails, downside, this is definitely an add the same way that I added to LAIX when it broke down. Brendan?
So there's a couple things on Cassava Sciences, guys. First off, in the pre-market this morning, they did update their current quarter financials to the upside going forward. And then we have that Alzheimer's treatment that we've been talking about in relation to Cassava Sciences. More data just released right now at 11 there in the positive side of things for that Alzheimer's treatment, guys.
Okay, and I just want to bring this to everyone's attention because, again, what a missed opportunity, and I hate to say that word, missed, but it was, so we're going to use it. I was long, and we were looking at this Bitcoin down here, guys. You guys saw that, and unfortunately, though, we did get out of that trade at 44. It just didn't look like it was going. That's not a short, that's me getting out. We tried to play that short to the downside, but look at this, just keep on going. Again, congratulations, man. I'm a holder of Bitcoin, and I guess you're not really holding the bag now because we continue to go to all-time highs. I still like Cardano better. Not better, but we talked about that a little bit, and someone said XRP is not Ripple. I understand Ripple's a company, but here's Ripple today, XRP, the token, going upside a little bit, and we can check out on Cardano a little bit as well. This is just Yahoo, so this is not going to be the best look, but there's another 8%. We're long that thing at 18 cents, guys.
And just to come back to what I said this earlier on, it would likely be the stock that I'm holding all day to the short side, and it's just LAIX. Another breakdown, and it's just giving you this stair step. It was 465 first. I added on that break, and I probably should have added on the 450 break where I'm taking profit. It's holding. It falls off another cliff. I'll start taking more shares out. Probably the last stop because 409 previous close on Friday is my ultimate out there. So still hanging on. It's now a 464 short when 65 broke. We did start this one above $5, but added to it on the midway through. Looks like we'll go all the way to the bottom on LAIX. Brendan?
Just notice this one, guys. Workhorse coming back into 39 once again. We had a big move down off the open. As far as EVs are concerned, they are a little bit weaker today. Big level here, though. 39 was resistance going back a week ago for Workhorse. Still down 4% today for this one.
Yeah, I'm still so pissed off because, Bitcoin continued to go, oh, we can check out, that's what I want to do. I went over here and didn't even do BTC for you guys. That was the main reason why I wanted to show this chart. Here's Bitcoin. I'm just using Yahoo. I understand there's way better ones to use than Yahoo, but it's easy, it's well done. So here we go. This is a one-day chart. And I think we can get a 1 minute chart. Is that 1 minute or 1 month? Yeah, this looks like, this is 1 month, but we're breaking out now, 44.021. I guess this isn't as good as I thought. Oh, intervals, here we go, 1 minute, there we go. So now, okay, but it doesn't fill them out. So we'll get back to this one, but there's Bitcoin, a nice little move from the bottom here, 43 up to 44 and change. I'm closing Yahoo, and I'm gonna find a better one, guys.
And thank you very much, Mirko, one of our members, is mentioning CTRM. And I knew, it's weird because, this is a horrible mistake because I remember this stock, and for some reason I did not write this down on my list. I try to keep a list of the names that I like for both watching for actionable trades and, of course, the actual trades we're going to put on for our morning plan. And penny stock approaching $1 on consecutive ramps to the upside, for lack of a better term, is usually going to fall on the radar. What's the high of the day? 99 cents. So $1 is a psychological level, I think, for every single penny stock. And the first time it makes a serious test of that level parabolic, it's supposed to be a short. I've said it about 1 million times, and I probably should have had this on the radar to short this one at 98. But it's holding up pretty decently. I mean, it's solidly bouncing off of this 90 to 92 level on that retracement. So that is a weak pullback. If you get a push like this, consolidating 82, 83, push into $1, fail at 99, I'm usually expecting to see it come back, hold at least 90 or maybe even a little bit lower than that. It does feel like this one has a decent shot for a breakout at $1. So maybe file that one away, but I'm already looking at TTOO for a similar play. That's hitting first take profit level here at 61, short 370 there. I'm watching SENS to see if it holds up, SENS, that's on the Amex, and now add CRTM to the list, or CTRM to that list. Same type of play here, but will I take a breakout at $1 long? Absolutely, I'll do it just from a pure momentum standpoint, especially if it can't break this 92 to the downside before that happens. So add that to the watch list for the afternoon. Thank you guys so much for bringing it up.
Yeah, and we need help from everybody to look at different names there. 58.50, that's that Twitter high is right here, 58.50. Should took it out at 40 when it went up there. It just gave us another 30 out. We could do that one. I'm trying to have a little bit more of these, the diamond hands, because it failed me on Neo. Check out Neo right here. Look how high up this name's going to the high side, obviously, and we punched through at 57.50. So, and look where we got out, 57.80. So our best out there is 35 cents, I believe. This 85 right there comes back up. We're pretty cool taking that. But then we should have noticed the break of that high and taken it again. And that's Neo just ripping to the high side right now. A new segment that's my new favorite right now. And it paid for lunch on Monday or on Friday. Let's see if it goes again here today with Brendan's new segment that I like. Lunch Money. What's up, Bren?
Hey guys, yeah, we tried it out for the first time back on Friday. We'll do another edition to wrap things up here today. Lunch Money, we give one trade idea going forward for either the rest of the morning or maybe even into the afternoon, with the sole purpose of paying for lunch, guys. So not necessarily looking for a big, huge home run. If that happens, fantastic, obviously, but we're looking to pay for lunch here. So why don't we start by going around and having a look at what we did on Friday. I am actually not prepared with my chart, so I'll throw it over to you guys. Have a look at what we did on Friday, and then give us your ideas for today. One trade, guys, one trade.
Okay, we'll try to keep it to one. And I apologize, I gotta stop saying, I accidentally will talk about something I'm seeing right here and it ends up being a trade that I'll make. I'm gonna show you guys what happened on Friday, because the trade that I had was right here. You're gonna see right around the end of the show. My play was gonna be Naked Brands off of the low. It had bounced. I'm like, okay, if it breaks that 113, 114, we'll basically take a long in front of it. It ticks up, hits a couple of profit levels to the upside. Sorry, it's over here at 114. Hits a couple of target levels on the way to 120. So I got half of it out for $0.1 cent. and then the rest of it out for a 1 penny hit, which with fees literally works out to flat. So let's try to avoid, I call that a loss, by the way, because you took your attention away from something else. I basically just gave away a couple of the plays that I'm going to be looking at, unfortunately. So TTOO is going to be the one that I'm going to go with. Now, again, this may or may not happen. I'm already in a short that's won. This is not what I'm really getting at here. I just feel like if this breaks a 350, this is going to be a clear short for me through 350 into this previous like 335 for half profit, and then maybe holding on to it for the rest of the afternoon. And then it's a bit of a cheat, but I've said before, if this breaks the high of the day, it's going to be not a long through 380. It is a long through 388, which is Friday's high. I will not get caught in the trap of longing the current high when you run into Friday's high. So it's a bit of a bracket breakout trade on TTOO. I find it very likely it hangs into that side of that range for the rest of the session, guys. It's going to break one direction or the other. I'm already short. That's why I'm also giving you the long break as well.
So my trade was Pinterest. It went through 82.50. I forget exactly where. I mean, it was obviously around here on lunchtime. Oh yeah, this 82. It was right around here. 80. Yeah, 80. Was it 81.50 or 82.50 break to the upside? Well, it must have been 81.50 break. Paid us off and then came all the way back to the downside. So there's that break right there. And I'm going to give you Pinterest again. I just went back to the well there. So we're short right now on Pinterest. Oops, what was that? We're short right now on Pinterest, so I like this play. Use it to 79, but right now we're going to see if we can get lunch money right now. Short 78.55 here. Pinterest coming to the downside. Watch out if this market breaks. Let's get out at 78 and buy ourselves a nice little chicken parmesan.
All right, let's go back to Friday. A couple of great ideas already. Let's talk about Friday. I mentioned this one, AREC. We were looking at a downside through this line right here, 6. This gets as far down as, what is that, 62-ish, so easy 40 cents or so. If you're looking for 10 or 20, it gave you that on the initial break as well. So Eric was a pretty good, decent short, slow in the afternoon. It did take some time to wind its way down there, but did eventually get there for you. AMC, we're going to talk about right now. $6, huge line in the sand, it seems. Right now for AMC. I'll direct your attention to the bottom of the screen here. Volume dying off on this entire group right now. But if we get a break of 6 to the downside, this thing has room back to that high on the daily chart, which is 560. So not a huge, gap there, but decent gap, 560, which is this low down here. So 6 to 560 AMC sell side, guys. That's lunch money today.
Yes, sir. There you go. There's your lunch money. If any of those trades hit, we'll definitely let you guys know exactly how, one way or the other. And we like to review every single idea to the best of our abilities. A couple of things here. I mean, I could have used WPRT as well. I am sitting in this short, and it's very similar to TTOO. If it breaks 12.25, I am looking to add to it. It's really starting to get sleepy on this name. It's up 43%. Great. The retracement feels like it's going to be on in this particular name, guys. Just to remind everybody, and I'm going to throw it up for you guys, probably maybe for the last time. We'll keep mentioning it, and make sure you get that link. Members only Q&A is coming up right after the show. Arun will be stopping in with us. All 4 of us will be there answering questions. Miss V as well, doing a job monitoring, of course, the chat. Get your questions ready, because we will get to as many as we can. Trust me, we don't want anybody to leave unsatisfied, but we do get a lot. So get in early, get your questions blocked and loaded and ready to go. Make sure you grab that link. We want to make sure everyone has access to that that is a member. So it's our way of giving back to you guys. Every other Monday we do it, and that is coming up in just a few minutes.
Yep, it sure is. Check back on DraftKings here if we can. 61, see what I'm saying? I should have made maybe this one the lunch money trade, because, you could go long again on DraftKings. Watch out for this market here. Again, we don't listen to me on DraftKings. So, I mean, maybe that's the point that I should be making here for sure. So we still have that trade. I was going to talk a little bit more about Palantir, because it is bouncing. Like, again, this could have been another trade here, like bouncing off these bottoms. So you got to watch out for Palantir. I still think there's a chance that this can get back here, 38.15, 38.20. So some downside moves, 37.05-ish or so here on Palantir. So we're going to wait to see if that one comes through. But I do like that downside play. And then we did get out of some Twitter there. What, 58.10? Okay, oh, it must, yeah, I was just looking to see if it was going to break that level. It looks like it did. But Twitter continues to go to the high side, guys. We only have one negative stock today. We're going to hopefully continue that for you. GBTC, Bitcoin, Oh crap, where was that? I had a chart up for, here it is. There it is. Bitcoin there fails off of basically this level. I don't know, I don't have my crosshairs on here. Oh, there it is, crosshairs. 44.2, yeah, let's call it 44,300 basically. Oh, there's the high right there. 44,300 back down to 43,860. So, oh ho hum, just like a $700 move back to the downside there on Bitcoin. Someone said, what is Sean doing? Always pushing control. I'm pushing control right now. So it's by pushing control, it's just a Microsoft feature there that you can edit and select it to highlight. So it gives that little target practice. So that's why we do hit that. But wow, GBTC coming off. Oh, if we can, I have a new picture over here, guys. I don't know if you could, nah, you can't see it, darn it. I'll show it after. I got a new polar bear over here. So the daughter drew that. So what's up to you, Gia? Great drawing. There it is. There's the polar bear. My new favorite is the polar bear. It's my favorite animal. So she drew that for me. Thank you, Miss Gia, for the polar bear.
Love the polar bear. Polar bear is like one of those, when you, well, I haven't been to the zoo in forever, and God knows when we'll actually ever get to one again, but it's only the one that you remember when you're going as a kid, standing around the polar bear. Whatever. It is what it is. And a great scene in Anchorman, which was a different type of bear. But I want to get to this because a couple of people mentioned it, and it's a very, very similar, and I can't tell you how many of these stocks are right at pre-market highs or you know, a previous week highs, whatever it might be, but BNGO also on that list. Bingo was kind of on that, and I'm not calling it a stock that I'll never short, but I just usually don't have any success with it. But there's more reasons that I'm probably going to stay away from this one. This looks like a good price. I mean, you had a breakdown at 1150, you had 1150 top here. It's a little too orderly to the upside. And it's too strong on the daily chart. I mean, this is not too parabolic. It's sort of stair-stepping, giving some healthy pullbacks into this range. So I'd stay away. I'm staying away from the short side of this trade. Whereas, you know, without fear, I can have a look at some of the levels on, you know, whether it's that TTOO. And I do like a long break there, and I'd take it. But if it rolls over, I'm already sitting in a short. I would add to it if I get a chance. I have my out. So you have to have at least some kind of a bias or certain stocks that you think can run you over. You pretty much have never seen me short Palantir when it's on an up day, and that's the easiest call ever. It's always so orderly when it goes into some of those levels. It's just going to crush all those shorts. BNGO is not the same thing, but it has the same feeling for me here. So I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole, guys. Only 5 or 6 minutes to go, so I'm going to quickly just go over a couple of positions that I'm sitting in here. LAIX, easy one. It just continues its fall. It just tried to bounce off 440. Failed at 450, now headed back down to the low. I've got bids, these ones in front of 420, 409 remains that target. And I just talked about TTOO and WPRT. I'm adding to the WPRT short, just so you guys know, at 1225. That should be a decent one. And I am watching Vaxart. No trade on this yet, but if this fails to break that high of day, all day today, I think it's probably going to be an actionable one to the short side at some point. But for now, it looks like a potential top break at 930.
Okay, we're checking back here. Lunch money still moving around, not doing much. That is Pinterest trying to go for us here. So we'll wait to see if we can get some money out of that one. We will. Looking for some downside breaks. We're short at 78.55 there off some lunch money trades there. I like that new segment. We did talk about that. Oh, wow. Disney, in one of the most obvious reopen plays of all time, Disney continues to make moves to the high side, man. 3.59%. Like, even my wife was like, oh, she's dreading going to Disney, but it's like, you know what? At some point, you're gonna have no choice, especially with what's happening right now with Disney Plus. Like, my kids love that WandaVision. They don't even know who Wanda or Vision is, and they love that show. So imagine when they do, what's gonna happen. So 3.59% still needs more, and I think you're gonna get it today from Disney, guys.
Yes, sir. I mean, Disney's absolutely fantastic. And WandaVision, my best thing to say for anybody is you can watch it if you have not seen all of the Avenger films, but my strong suggestion would be maybe check out at least Age of Ultron and have an idea what's going on. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. New position alert, I did get this Viru when it did break down. This is at previous halt price, that's at 1380. It broke VWAP. Giving this one, like I said at the time, we'll give it to this range here, that 1430 to 1450 area stop. There's a massive gap for this to fill, so about $1.50 worth of downside before we run into what I think could be some support at 1250. Brendan, a few earnings to get to.
All right, we'll wrap things up with a look at earnings. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week. We mentioned a number of names coming later in the week. There's a number of names on this board that might give us a trade tomorrow, guys. Coming up after market tonight or before the open tomorrow, we have this to expect.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. All right. So there's a lot on there. We'll see what Valeria likes in a minute. But I see everything just right in the middle is really the only one to me that does matter. I'm a heavy investor, and Weed Batman will be in the building tomorrow when Canopy reports. I love Canopy. I love their purchase of acreage, which is going to get going at some point as soon as the feds get that all sorted out. I think that stock runs, man, and runs hard. That's Canopy. I love Canopy.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of names out there, and the only other one that I think is worth a look. I mean Simon maybe, but Take-Two Interactive. Let's not the actual Take-Two, not this TTOO, which sometimes people get confused with. That could be an actionable trade, but I feel like I'm still going to be monitoring, and I really want to see it. Tesla, of course, if we can finally get the actionable trade there, if it finds a little bit of strength. So that's going to be a big one for me. And stick to the names that you like. I'll be watching Disney going into earnings every single day. They don't report until Thursday. Again, it's a long that I should have talked about it today, just couldn't find an actionable trade into it, and that's part of the game. I mean, you have to be able to have an entry point, an exit, where are you right, where are you wrong, not just I think the stock is going up. And in that case, I got burned a bit by just only being bullish and not finding an actual trade on Disney. Try to rectify that one tomorrow. One more thing before we get out of here, Miss V. I do believe, and we have a thing, we try to do the National Day. We try to let you guys know what it is, regardless of what it might be. So, Ms. V, tell us, what is our National Day today?
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, what a great start of the week. Thank you for all the likes and for all the support. And as guys mentioned before, all the members are more than welcome to join our Q&A session right after the show. You can find the link on the live chat, on Twitter, on our community page. And happy National Clean Up Your Computer, everyone.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, that's probably a good one there. Oh, clean up your actual computer. I was going to say on my computer desk. I have this trophy that my kid made me, and I keep the sticky notes in there. So I gotta clean that up. That reminds me. And one of the offices that I helped open up with Day Trade the World actually sent me, and what's up to Dennis, actually sent me this bull. It's made of a US dollar, and it's a bull. So I would never clean this up off my desk. That's a good luck little piece right there. But yeah, clean up your files. I know Google right now is asking me that I'm full on my storage. They want my money. Not sure if I'm going to give them it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything about what you should be cleaning up on your computer, but certainly at least clean your keyboard. Those things can get rather nasty there. I don't know about actually, cleaning your computer. You should do that all the time, guys. Let's be honest about that. But either way, look, it's been a fun show. I have to get ready because you guys. Dan, you set me up, but we love it. We got to 4,000 likes, so thank you so much for the support and the love, which means I got to drop down and give you, I think I said 10, but we'll see how many we can do in quick time. Please, everybody, once we end here, we are coming right back, and we are going to be doing our Q&A. So all the members, make sure you get that link. Ms. V has dropped it for you guys. Check it out. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Normally, this is where I would go around. So I will say at least the first part of it, but Sean, I'm going to let you end the show because I got to go do some push-ups here and then get right over and get ready to do this Q&A for you guys.
Oh God, how am I ever going to end the show? I have no idea what to say. No, look, guys, it's going to be a good one. We're going to pay for lunch right now in a couple seconds here as lunch money coming through. As soon as this breaks 50, there we go. Let's just see. I mean, what do you guys want for lunch? We talked about a chicken parmesan. We only have 100 shares right now, so this is $12 now in the money. We're going to wait to see if we can get a little bit lower here and see if we can't top it up with a little brio there as well. But Neil, I don't know how many push-ups he has to do, but right now here goes Pinterest, guys. Look, for all of us, you can show Neil whenever you guys want to. I'll just go ahead and talk. For Brennan Wickens, Neil Roberts, Sean Katina, and Miss V still being remote. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. I hope you have a fantastic day. Neil's doing the push-ups. Great job, great form. I dare you to find someone better at doing this. Come back with us in a couple minutes, guys. Find the link everywhere for all of our members. Good job, Neil. He's crushing it. There it is. The guy doesn't even break a sweat right there. So thank you, Neil. Like I said, that form. Send in your push-ups, guys. Tweet them at tradertv.live, and let's go. There's your money right there on Pinterest. Lunch money, 2 for 2 successful right there. Good job, Neil. Let's give this a wrap, and we'll see you guys soon.
100% for Ms. V, for Sean Katina, my main man. For Brennan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you in 5 for the Q&A, but for the rest of you tomorrow. Bye, guys.